Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode. I was going to say another season. Welcome to the Wargaming.net League European Season 1. My name is Ryan Murphy, and joining me here on the desk is Mihailo Jogovic. How are you, Mojo?
Thank you, Ryan. Much less nervous than you at the moment.
I had it in my head what I was going to say, and I completely lost it. So we have a couple of amazing matches lined up for you guys today. But before we jump into today's matches, let's have a look at the current standings after the matches we had yesterday. So we can see at the top, Utopia and Ding still sitting there. Go Hard, Oops. Oops had a win yesterday, isn't that right, Mojo?
Yeah, Oops are pretty safe now, together with the top 3 teams. So we have quite a struggle between the rest. And I believe Rusty Roster cooked up situation yesterday with their win. So you really do not know which teams will actually progress to phase 2. Like, it's a lot of calculations and there is pretty much a lot to play. Almost 5 play days.
Rusty Roster taking points off Swift, wasn't it? And Oops taking points off with the Wild Bunch.
Yes, that was pretty much it. And in all honesty, it's really turbulent season. And there is so much surprises. And I'm really looking forward to this ending because it looks like that clash, who will even enter the second part, will probably be decided in the last couple of games.
Certainly looks like we're going to have a fight on our hands at the bottom of the table. It doesn't seem as sure anymore. The Rusty Roster Swift was a bit of an upset, I would say, wasn't it? It wasn't a match that people would expect Rusty Roster to win.
No, and they won it by far, even. So that came as a big surprise yesterday. Also, I think we should just explain a bit why is that all important. So, as we said several times, from the 12 teams we have now, bottom 4 will, after 11 match days played, they will fall out. So 8 teams will progress and 4 will be permanently gone. But all the points will remain. And why is that important? Because we have teams like playing today, like Kazna, who are still struggling to even stay in top 8. They will need those points in the second phase, because then all the teams play together all over again, and the top 6 will actually be able to participate in offlines. Exactly. Top 2 will go, and other 4 will play each other for last 2 spots. So that's kind of really important for everyone. You need to gather every point, and we will be in a situation where 1 or 2 points will decide who will even stay in top 8, and then you will have again all over the same situation after a couple of weeks.
Indeed, all the teams have everything to play for right now. And speaking of Kazna, we can actually bring up today's matches, because Kazna are going to feature in our first match today. So we have Ding versus Kazna Crew and Go Hard versus Nakabrod.
Well,
Ding Kazna?
Well, before the season started, everyone thought, oh, Ding versus Kazna, that's going to be a match of a season. Kazna 2 times on World Grand Finals and so on. Ding, really strong newcomer after 2 seasons. They're not even newcomers anymore, but really strong lineup. So everyone thought it will be a clash, but Kazna is really struggling. And Ding is top performing together with Utopia. So we don't know, will this still be kind of a top match like we expected? But we know that Kazna needs this victory. They are playing some kind of lower opponents after that. So Kazna, I don't think they're even a threat to fall out. But they need a morale boost, they need a victory, and especially above all, they are kind of fighter team. Mm-hmm. They need to prove themselves they're strong enough, and they've been struggling.
Kazna are a team that has been said that they generally perform better as it gets to the end of the season rather than at the start of the season. They're generally they wind up as the season progresses.
It's a team with quite a lot of talent, but sometimes just not performing all the time. Probably not enough trainings or whatever reasons they have. So toward the end of the seasons, they always do better. Last season, they literally went 1 point above Utopia for 6th spot, so they participated in qualifiers for the offline.
Okay.
And went there. And then Wombats, who won them by so close that it was unreal. First time we've seen Kurit smile ever in all these years. So Kazna is that kind of team.
Okay, so Kazna's opponents today is going to be Ding. What can you tell us about Ding, Mojo?
Really brutal performance so far. All victories, only one in tiebreaker. They didn't struggle with anyone except with Go Hard. That was a really tight one. Old school performers. And I don't know, they didn't show much weaknesses. Also, they have the strongest defense in the league, 70+%, and second attack in the league, like 65%. Like, Ding is really, really performing this season, and Utopia is only above them because they have a better differential between won and lost games. or otherwise they have identical number of points. Really strong personnel there. Breakneck and Kuriz coming from Wombats, Positive from Tornado, then Mary, you have an old school player, Mrakar, who was boosted from tier 8s and really performs well now in tier 10s. Shockish standard player, so this lineup is strong. It's really strong.
If any of you viewers out there are big fans of Ding, you have the social media links at the top there for their Facebook and their Twitter, so drop by and give those guys a follow or give them a retweet and wish them good luck in today's battle. So Kazna were a clan you more or less formed. You used to play with them, Mojo, yes?
I used to play with them until like 2 years ago. Then we parted, but we still know each other and so on. Love from that team, you have only 2 members that are still there. That's Haiba and Vetso. More or less everyone is new, but also most of them are there for a long time. The only newcomer there really is Dead Zone, because there's a Nicter already played with them at Grand Finals. And that was a while ago already now.
Okay, well, keeping on with Ding, Daki actually had the chance to catch up with Ding and grill them some questions about this weekend's matches. So let's have a look at how that interview went.
Murakar, last week you guys had no real issues dealing with Rage Quit. Were there mistakes you guys made?
Not really, not so much mistakes. We knew that we need to play very careful against them because they do crazy stuff all the time, and we played passively and we checked everything and it was okay. It was quite easy win.
I completely agree with that. Now, it was close at times versus Oops. What do you feel the mistakes you guys made? And I want to congratulate you on the way you dealt with that RT. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we had quite nice start against them. We were leading, I think, 4-1, was it? And then we dropped 2 rounds. We made a lot of mistakes on, especially Prohal attack. And then Muravanka also, we couldn't find their spotter. We wasted a lot of time, and then we didn't have enough time to close the round. But at the end, we won the Muravanka defense and won the match without losing any points, so it was good.
It was good. Murakar, now, how do you guys keep discipline, seeing as you really haven't been challenged all that much this season?
No, as I said at the beginning of the season, now we have like professional atmosphere in the team. Everyone is giving their best and no one is making any problems. We took this really serious and we want to be first this season, so we need to play professional and act like professionals.
Murakar, as a person that makes boost videos to be played, is Break ever going to complete the south boost, and is Positive ever going to manage to climb the north side of mines?
That's a tough question. I mean, we have a lot of fails on training also, but we had, I think, more fails on the official matches than on trainings. I think they will need some time, but they will do it, I guess.
I mean, and think in Break's case, he's going to need a lot of time.
maybe, we will see.
Now, Murakar, let's get into your matchup. It's going to be against Kazna Crew here. If you would ask me, this would be the most anticipated match before the season, but now it's looking like you guys are the favorites because Kazna is struggling.
I think we will have much more problems because of that. Kazna desperately needs points in this match, and they will give their best. Don't think their position on table is like showing what they can do. They had some epic fails at the start, especially I think it was Wild Bunch match and one more that they shouldn't lose. And I think they will always play better the second part of the season, and you can never underestimate them. So
Thank you,
it will be the
Murakar.
toughest match for us in the season for sure.
Thank you, Murakar, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
You can never underestimate them. Do you think that's a fair statement about Kazna, Mojo?
Yes, they're the teams that can always surprise, but Mrakar said, well, you need to act like a professional. I don't think they need to act like a professionals. They are professionals already.
It's quite an interesting question there from Daki about the boost videos. Very confident sounding himself from Daki. He has failed quite a few of them himself trying to...
It's very nice to ask someone like that when he has to do it from the first time, from first attempt,
Yeah.
live on cameras, while Lucky can like fall down 50 times in a row, and only once will be shown when he's up.
Sometimes we have the videos in between matches and it's Daki actually is the driver of the tank, and he failed that quite a few times, ladies and gentlemen. So a bit cheeky from him to ask that about Breakneck. We'll certainly see if Daki can ever do it when the chips are down and he needs to do it under
I
pressure.
would like to see that Gravity versus Ducky.
Gravity versus Daki. Wow.
That would be awesome
That'd be
video.
some sight. So, Kazna's opponent is going to be Ding. Ding's opponent's going to be Kazna, yes.
Well, we've seen Kazna guys struggle with those boosts quite a lot, actually much more than Ding. Ding had a couple of falls that costed them a lot of HP and delays, but not games. Kazna actually lost matches because of that. We've seen Izne struggling on several maps. He was sent to those positions and it just didn't work out. And even on the last one, he got stuck. Unfortunately, it was really a bad moment for them because I think strategically, tactically, they had every possible advantage then. And it was just a mishap. To clarify a bit, we even spoke to our GOAT expert Daki. He explained that some of those little glitches on a map you cannot see while you're driving a tank. You either know them by heart or you don't. But you will just end up there, stuck, or you will avoid them.
So the Kazna lineup is a lineup you were saying earlier on, only features 2 of the players you used to play with, Mojo. Talk us through the rest of the players.
Honestly,
here
I played with practically every one of them, but just not in the same teams.
Okay. So talk us through who we have here.
So you have Haiba, that's the only original guy from the original lineup. First one, Vetso joined really shortly after. Then we have Nexus, who joined from Vusa, together then with FKK and Stefan in the last. And we have Fishy. And we have, I think, Izne coming from TCM. And finally, we have Ilian, who joined a bit before them from the Lemming Train, if you remember that.
Lemming Train.
Epic Polish team.
Lemming
with
Train.
Mr. Carbon.
I was going to say they're the ones that designed their own T-shirt, but that was School Bus, I believe.
No, that was Cool Bus.
Their own hand-drawn T-shirts. It was pitted with the team name, I guess.
So really strong team, a lot of experience all over the place there. They've been on so many tournaments together, good friends and all. I guess they have decent atmosphere all the time. So
yeah, going back to what you said about using it was unfortunate that they got stuck in. A lot of people who maybe watched that stream from Sunday, the areas where Disney got stuck in is an area where tanks normally don't go to, because previously you couldn't get to those areas before the physics change. So the map areas haven't been smoothed out properly because they were never an area where tanks expected to be.
there is still a couple of glitches, but players by now, I think, by those hard mistakes know them.
So, as with Ding, Daki had a chance to sit down and chat with somebody from Kazna Crew about this weekend's matches and also to have a little reflection on last weekend's matches. So let's have a look at how that little discussion went.
So Dead Zone, it's not been a good week for Kazna. First up, you played Utopia. It was close. In the end, they managed to run away with the 3 points, though. What were the mistakes Kazna made in that one?
Well, just overall some team play issues, being too afraid of our opponent. We couldn't get our game together. Everybody was afraid. We thought that Utopia could do a lot more, and that's why we were so passive. And they ended up, taking us out one by one, round by round.
Then afterwards, you played against Go Hard, a new team with a lot of player skill, but not so much experience. We thought a team like you even said it yourself that it might be a 5-1. Now, obviously, it wasn't a 5-1 for you. You Go Hard managed to take that one in the end. What went wrong for you?
Again, being too passive, we were afraid of them. You could see that on every map happening again and again. And then on Mines, a bit of bad luck with Isna getting stuck on a rock. Otherwise, we would have ended up taking that round and maybe even taken tiebreaker or anything like that.
Very unfortunate Isna getting stuck there, but now Dead Zone. Do you feel, because of the regional changes here, that maybe Kazna was a bit too overconfident coming into the season, thinking would be a lot easier, and it's costing you now?
Well, yeah, you could say that we expected the start to be way easier than it actually is right now. We've lost 3 games so far, which is way more than we wanted to, and now we just have to step up our game for the next matches and win some more points in this first half.
No, Dead Zone, this is not a question I thought I would be asking you at the beginning of the season. Kazna is still on the edge to drop out in Phase 1. I guess you guys really didn't expect to be there in the beginning of the season.
No, not really. Right now, we still have some, well, I can say easier matches. I'm not going to jinx myself again, but matches that we should be able to win coming up right now. We got a tough opponent coming, so hopefully some more points coming in so we can secure the top 8 at least.
That's enough. Talking about your matchup, it is probably one of the most anticipated matches of this season here. You're going to be taking on Ding, a match in the beginning of the season. If you would ask me, it would be the highlight now. How do you come into this one as Kazna?
It should still be a really close game. We're also always known for losing against weaker teams, but making up tough games and close games against the stronger teams like Ding. So I'm really looking forward to the match and think we can really perform against them.
Thank you, Dedzun, and best of luck.
Thank you.
So, Mojo, too passive and perhaps a little bit overconfident. Would you say that's a fair description of how Kazna have been?
In my eyes, they were not prepared well enough. Some tactics were too standard and repetitive. Some looked really well, but they didn't have that much luck. I'm glad that I see no smug face from Dead Zone anymore, so it's okay.
Bit humbled.
Yes, a bit humbled there. I don't think Kazna is anywhere close to dropping out, as I already said. The last really strong opponent they have is Ding. After they have series of 4 a bit easier matches for them, and I think they will prevail more or less in all of them, in my judgment. But at the moment, as I said, that is just not enough for a team like Kazna. Just staying in top 8 is just not enough. They need to go higher and they need to end up in top 6. And losing points all over the place will not help.
So Kazna definitely need to step up a gear and take what they can here from Ding, who are also playing extremely well. So this is going to be a tough match for Kazna. Our first match of the day is going to be on Cliff. Let's actually have a look at the vehicles that each team is going to be using here. Now, we don't see who's going to be playing who, which tank, but Mojo, you can talk us through something, and I already see an unusual pick there from Kazna.
Well, Kazna, they're on defense. They're using Crusader SP again. Last time it was actually used even against them, but they tested it once, like 2-3 games ago, and it didn't work out really for them. But Ding, really unusual setup, like 357s, that's really close combat. Last time they had 2 and they went forest side with that. Unusual for that kind of pick, but it worked for them because they managed to clear the spotter.
I'm not sure if this is the actual correct lineup here.
Oh, this is for Murovanka. This is not for Cliff.
Yeah, so Cliff is going to be a fairly standard lineup. We can actually just jump straight into the game and we'll see the tanks. So here we go, Kazna crew versus Ding on Cliff.
Cliff, the most dynamic map in the league. Battles on Cliff always turn into desperate double-edged fights. Teams start from the same spots as they do in standard battles. The first base is located near the defender's spawn point, and the second is at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes teams split their forces and send several tanks through the 1-2 line to the left of the small hill, but usually both teams play at the center. The attacking team can send one of the tanks up to the lighthouse or behind it. Fast and quick-firing vehicles are better suited for this map, mainly medium tanks, including tanks equipped with autoloaders.
And here we go now with Kazna crew on the defense and Ding on the attack.
Well, this is a correct lineup, as you can see now. There can be no miss here. Ding last time played with a pretty much identical lineup here, and they all went up. This time they sent Koritz down. That's kind to be expected. Him playing tier 9. But Kazna also just sending a light down and everyone else is going up. I was wondering why did they even pick the T-54 light, honestly. I mean, constant shooter, but meta kind of already took that tank out. It's not fast enough nor armored enough. A nice alpha by Isne there, 240 is average.
Koritz taking a shot in there from Isne, so the Koritz is just going to come around the bottom here of what's called the small donut by some teams as he tries to get a bit of position. Eurofish knows exactly where he is from the earlier spot from Alien, no, Gisne, sorry, who's now backing off towards his cap area. Everyone else going to kind of standard positions. We have Breakneck just taking a shot there. The match here on Cliff generally revolves around the big hill with the lighthouse, and usually whoever controls that controls the map.
At the moment, Ding does not know what exactly to expect from Kazna. Kazna played literally only one game, and it was a defense a long time ago. But Ding played much more, so Kazna has some expectations. This is the only map where people can actually say that attack is really high, almost 70%. But Ding not doing so well so far. They're taking some sporadic damage for no need.
Breakneck taking another hit there as he overextends in the middle and poking his head over. Shockish is actually the first one up on top of the hill. We saw Veko coming up there behind him. Veko's taken a shot and got ammo racked, but he's quickly repaired that. So Veko potentially in a dangerous situation here as he can get, if he doesn't be careful when he comes down, he can get caught in a crossfire.
We see a rotation between Ilian and Izne there. They're gonna press Kurit, so this is gonna really hurt Ding. But Ilian's getting shot from the middle.
Alien getting himself caught out there in the counter crossfires. Kreitz now gets shot at by Yizne. Yizne looks like to take in the fight between those two. Kreitz stuck up on the hill here, but Alien's not able to give any support as Yizne actually does take the kill on Kreitz, and they have that flank basically secured now.
No, Positive is going for him now, and Mrakar is covering from the distance. And they're just making a crossfire here while Izne is running for his life. Positive can more or less end him up really in one shot.
The match advantage started off initially there with Kaznakru, but after this quick exchange...
let's see the seconds. Will Izne survive? He is spotted.
Can he get round the corner? Yizne stops and takes a parting shot. A cheeky parting shot that damages Positive's tracks there from Yizne.
Did he just use repair kit Positive for that?
Quickly used the repair kit. I think he was worried that perhaps another tank was behind him, which was not a good move as we see the fight happening here on the hill. Veko and Shockius exchanging shots. Eurofish trying to get ground against Hunknick and the Kraus Mortorius. Veko takes another shot as he's getting, looks like caught in the back. No, but we have a rotation down the back as well. It's Positive from Iraqer coming round on Alien and Yizne. This is not going to look good for Alien. He already has a lot of health, and Veko's dropped by Shockish it is as the fight carries on here on the hill. Stefan trying to push round, Eurofish trying to get shots on Motorius as Nexus comes up to support. Positive now kills Alien, there's Hyber dropping Breakneck.
There is a big fight now. There is two snipers that are completely alone by Ding, Positive and Mrakar on other side, but the hill is at the moment won by Kazna. The real thing is they're approximately same on HP and everyone is here on the reload. I can't even say that anyone has a big advantage at the moment because they are all split all around the map. I think Izne is actually a joker that Kazna can use to win this game.
Kaznakru sitting king of the hill, but Ding are looking to reload and get shots across them. So much damage done across Ding's team though as Maraka just takes a shot in the rear there. Lots of damaged tracks. Hulknick actually has a dead driver, damaged tracks, dead radio man as well. Positive actually has a damaged engine, so that's really going to affect his maneuverability.
Izne, guys, Izne is the only guy who can deal with Shockish without any real punishment. If Kazna manages to do that, they have a real chance to win a game. But if someone from Kazna falls before that, it will be a problem. There you go, Shockish is taking damage from Izne.
Shockish overextending down the bottom of the hill there as he's trying to sneak around and get shots on Nexus. This is really a bad place for Shockish because he's worried about Nexus coming down over the top, but Yizne has cross shots on him. So like Maraka's going to try and move around to deal with Yizne, but then he could get potential shots coming in from the top of the hill as well.
Oh, he dropped a tree. They might actually know where he is now.
Maraka's actually shooting, and as soon as he shoots, he's spotted, but he maybe gets two into Hyber. No, he gets the first one, misses the second. Can he go for a third? Nope, he misses a third, and he's wrecked by Stefan. Good counterplay there. Maraka just holding on for too long there, and Stefan looks like he wants to deal with Shockish. Misses the first shot, goes in to get a second one. Shockish is held up on the tree, trying to go down the hill. Stefan's taking a shot himself for not actually getting the shot in. Now the exchange doesn't look well.
Hyber dropped Hulknick on the next side. Shockish is pretty much in stalemate here with Stefan, because Stefan, if he misses the first shot, Shockish can end him.
Stefan wants that kill on Shockish so bad, and he does get it. Stefan had the HP to trade, and looks like they actually exchanged shots. There's now only Positive is left for Ding, and this looks like it's going to be match one to Kaznakru. Hyber just sitting, waiting out here. Perhaps going to try and... Positive's going to maybe draw this one out a bit longer so his team can have a bit of time to talk about tactics and actually discuss just what went wrong there.
There is nothing Positive can anything do to win anymore. The Nexus has just too much HP, and everyone else on Kazna is lingering on threads. But they're still alive. That's the point. And this is one of the rare games we've seen on Cliff that actually defense worked.
It's very unusual. Usually the attacking team always wins on Cliff here. And it's always an autoloader gunfest, basically. It's like a, let's say it's like a Wild West shootout as everyone's coming in with the revolvers taking shots. Kaznakru in no hurry really to end this themselves because they don't have a lot of HP to be able to do this. Only Nexus can really rush in there and deal with Positive. And Kazna seem to be in no hurry to do this because they are on the defense. They can run the clock out if they want.
Well, let us remind ourselves the last time they played against Koritz and the team he was leading, Wombats, On offlines, they were up 4-1. 4-1, and they managed to lose it. So, yeah, being in no rush against such teams is a good thing, actually. You do not want to overdo it.
A bit of patience. It could go. It could. I think Kazna are worried that they could potentially lose 3 tanks trying to push on him if they do it incorrectly. I'm really surprised why they don't just send Nexus in to fish him out, because Nexus can trade and take hits with him. All Nexus needs to do is land one shot. He's on 458, so a high roll maybe.
Honestly, all Nexus has to do is sit there and wait for him to come. That's exactly what I would do. And if Positive wants to sit behind that rock for the next 3 minutes, I would let him. Have a blast, bro.
They have unusual way to end the match after all the action we just certainly had happening there, but Positive's taking some blind shots. In the moment he's going to be in a reload, but are Kazna counting the shots or not? Do they know that when they can make a move in or not, or are they worried that any pauses between Positive was him doing a reload?
I don't think they have like exactly as good view as we do, so they can't really judge how much he's shooting. So it's gonna be a while. I guess Nexus got bored after all,
Yep.
so he's going for it.
It looks like Nexus is going in. Anta's actually timed it really well to know that Positive is reloading, or he's just getting lucky.
Someone
One of
was
the
counted.
Two. We're giving him the benefit of the doubt and say he was counting the shots. As Positive realizes he's in a bit of trouble and decides that now's the better time to
Well, he
get
didn't
away.
spot Nexus coming, actually.
He hasn't spotted him yet. That's
Like,
correct.
Nexus has no clue where is he, and he doesn't know where is Nexus until now. There we go.
So Nexus has spotted him now. Nexus can basically just rush over and push him down. Positive's going to aim up the hill. Does he actually have the gun elevation to do this?
I don't think so, but Nexus should.
Oh, he gets the
There
shot,
we
and
go.
there we go. So, Kazna crew ending Cliff on a positive note. Bam! Was waiting for that one for about 5 minutes to get that in.
Well, finally, great opening from Kazna. It was a tight game, but eventually things just didn't show nothing special, so they could win it. They played really standard, something they've done many times before. Maybe one tank different, and that's about it.
It was a very... I wouldn't say... It wasn't a very organised win, was it? Usually matches on Cliff are quite dominant. Somebody gets the hill, they get the shots down onto the guys below them, and it's quite a strong...
No, honestly,
showing from
we've
one team.
seen many games on Cliff that were filled with horrible mistakes. So that's why it looked like that, because some guys were failing the boosts, then they were trying to overmatch each other. Some were overcommitting, losing too much HP. Here, what decided this game is they left one guy on the other side. Kazna wrist, set Isne. Isne was not spotted. He knew there is nothing ahead of him, so he managed to flank him, and together with Ilian, he took him out. Ilian was really lucky to survive there, and then in counter rotation, when the Ding did a counter rotation, Kazna just decided, okay, that's it, we either push now or we're dead after.
So, Kazna winning their first match. Let's have a look at the damage done there and see who actually was the hero for Kazna and helped carry. Haiba.
Unusual one. Haiba was doing really badly last several matches, but there you go. Finally a top damage dealer in a game.
So, the damage split almost evenly there at the start, at the top of the table there, with Haiba from Kazna, Shokish from Ding, Nexus from Kazna, Mertorius from Ding. But then the next 3 are all Kazna.
We have 5 Kazna guys, of which one of them is actually a light tank. The only guy who got wrecked is Vetso, and he got shot from the back from those 2 butchers that were rotating.
Vetso got absolutely eliminated, only managing to actually land one of his shots as he got 2 shots off. Maraka, sadly, not doing too great. Positive at the end, 825 damage from 13
and
shots.
Positive were the guys doing the rotation, so they didn't have what to do.
Yeah. So they were caught out on the far side of the map.
Yeah, they were
compared to the-
chasing Isne, who ran away, and Ilian, who was on like 400 HP. That's not much damage to go around, and maybe some random shots before that, and that's about it. Nothing much for them.
Okay, so we have Kazna taking match number 1. They were on the defense. Kazna now going to match number 2 on the attack.
They haven't played it still this season.
Okay,
On
let's
Cliff.
have a look at the lineups and see which vehicles are going to be used this time round.
And it's
And
correct one.
that's looking that's looking correct this time round, yes. So Batchats all round.
Well, 49 in attack is always good. That tank, when he smacks one of these, he can easily, if he pans, take like 700-800 damage, which can be a game decider. But it's pretty much mirror, except that TVP on Ding's side that's used for support. Ding, when they play this kind of thing, they usually send 49 and TVP down on 1-2 line to see someone going and maybe smack him a bit, because TVP has fast enough reload, while the other butchers spread around the big lighthouse and middle.
Okay, so with Kazna going all the way here for Batchats and Ding taking Batchats and a TVP, why would the TVP be used over a Batchat in this situation?
As I said, when you go to that 1-2 line, if you want to support it or if you want to do some long distance support, not a front line, TVP is the best because of the burst damage. He shoots 1.5 seconds between 4 shells, 320 average against any kind of these tanks. It's really good, especially when you want to finish them off or to damage them quickly. Also, he has much better reload than Budget, so it's used for 1-2 line mainly. And for some support.
Okay, let's see if that's how it's going to pan out or if it's going to go the other way as we go into battle number 2 with Ding versus Kazna Crew. It's 1-0 to Kazna Crew. They're now on the attack against Ding on the defense.
Well, let us see the opening from the Ding because that's the only one we can actually judge. Kazna never played on attack on Cliff, as we said, so everything they do, and they're doing the smartest thing, they're going all together. So they're not risking to get shot by the 49 or TVP down. The question is now, how will they try to prevail? Kazna is actually known, they like even to completely rush here. They just go over that 5 line, and if they think the enemy is split enough for their purpose, they will just go. But not this game. Not this game.
Not this game, no. Looks like a small detachment is going towards cover the hill area and the rest of
And
the
there you go, TVP, you asked why. He's the only one who actually had shells and he dealt 3 out of 4.
Alien and Yizny getting caught in quite a strong crossfire there. So's Eurofish as well. Kazna really not in the position to be able to take shots back as all the damage so far is one-sided coming out from Ding into Kazna. Ding leading ahead here with a 1000 HP advantage across the
It's
team.
almost 2000 now. It's not kind of a crossfire, but Ding has the hold-on positions there while Kazna took a risk and split here. And honestly, I don't like this opening from Kazna. I think they should have played with more tanks from this side because now they're open for all kind of rotations from Ding. And you can see Shokish already took initiative and he's going in their back. Now this is a kind of a double-edged sword because if Kazna manages to take the hill, they can wreck Shokish for free. But if Ding controls the climb enough, so they know that there is no one actually going up, and only Haiba is in position.
Exchange here between Karitsa and Alien, as it looks like Karitsa is going to get... No, actually Karitsa gets taken out by Veko, giving crossfire to his scout. So, first blood actually going to Ding there. Looked like Kazna Crew were just going to sneak the first kill. Shokish catches out Yizny as Haiba takes out Positive as well as Maraka's running around. Looks like Nexus is going to be the first one to fall, but then Haiba's coming down to help him as well. Can they take out Maraka before he takes out Nexus? Yes, they do.
This is a really, really risky play by Ding and not coordinated at all. Koritz came on his own, then the random orders came. He's so positive again, like in some previous games, going too far ahead of everyone else, and then Maraka. They didn't even finish off all the Kazna guys that were there, and in one strong push they could have done it. So Haiba actually survived and they lost 2 tier 10s.
So Haiba having to rotate now and come around the back as he takes a shot in the rear, trying to make himself safe. Kazna rotating round now to the west-hand side of the map as Veko is pushing up further around, perhaps trying to make a move onto the #1 cap here or just try and keep himself safe. But no, Alien gets caught out by Breakneck. Great play from Breakneck coming round there.
Dirty TVP and his burst. Once he starts shooting, you cannot simply run away from it. I was about to say, look, Kazna actually managed to melt away that damage, but then Ding is striking back. And it's looking good for Ding at the moment.
Off camera, we just missed Shokish there taking out a tank as well. So Kazna Crew not going well at all for them as Ding are having a strong comeback here in the second match. A second battle, actually, sorry.
Nothing is over here. Kazna still has good angles, but also Kazna is split apart. And Ding is the defending team. So they don't really have to commit or do anything. They can just position and wait for Kazna to come to their crossfire.
Each one of the Kazna players now isolated and Ding know exactly where they are. I think only, well, Veko just had some shots there into Martorius when he's having to come back down, but they know where Stefan is, they know where Eurofish is. Veko coming down to support his teammates. It's going to be a very strong play from Kazna to be able to get back into this match.
I bet Ding would really like to have one guy on the other side of the map now so they could deal with Stefan, because one guy from like J5, that corner, he could really hurt him a lot. But it's not meant to be because Breakneck is monitoring the other side. They cannot afford to lose the middle hill. So everyone is pretty much stuck on their positions and they're just waiting. I would say Shokish is kind of a joker here for Ding because he can monitor the lower side, any rotations, and this side below Mary.
Now, an interesting thing to note here is that Hulkneck is sitting furthest back, acting as a sniper for his team, but he has a damaged gun, so his accuracy at long range will be quite interesting. It looks like Kazna Crew want to rotate round either to get, looks like they're going to go for the hill area at C4 and try and get shots across from them, but Breakneck's probably going to proxy spot them and
These
steal
are
right
good
below him.
choices because they're gonna push Breakneck and Hulkneck because they are the weak link in their defense.
They're actually going for the boost. They're going to sneak up round here. This could work or it could fail spectacularly. Which one is it going to be?
It's just a
Veko
question.
spotted as soon as he comes over. Stefan, oh, they're trying to get a jump on Hulkneck. Great play from Stefan. Can he get shot off? No. Breakneck comes round actually, gets the cross shots into Veko. Veko's taking a huge amount of damage here, and now Veko and Stefan are being caught in a crossfire. This is not great. They needed to get that kill on Hulkneck and then drop down. Hulkneck is basically acting as a coverage there for Eurofish. He was stopping him from moving.
I would say the only mistake was actually no one covering Breakneck. And he's taking several shots now because he did not expect Fishy on the other side. But Fish is going to get pushed by Shokish and there is no saving to him.
Eurofish is able to get a kill there, but in turn Shokish gets the kill back on him. Stefan's now rushing out to try and get Hulkneck. Can he get a second shot in? No, he can't. Stefan misses that second shot and Hulkneck is going to go for a third shot? No.
It would be a really luck shot if he managed to hit it. It's kind of hard RNGs, but Mary has 4 shells here. And every advantage in HP and surprise. I don't think there is saving for Kazna here.
Mertorius known that he has the HP to trade with Stefan if he wants to. Stefan just pulling back over the hill to try and get help for his teammate as Shokish and Veko exchange shots now. Shokish now coming around behind to get Stefan as Mertorius is the one shading on Veko. Mertorius was on fire there for a couple of seconds. Stefan and Shokish going for the ram. Plays off to Shokish's advantage as he had the more HP. And now only Veko is left for Kazna crew. This one looks like it's going to ding.
This one is more or less in their pocket and Hulkneck missed!
Oh, unlucky Hulkneck.
That damage gun kind of worked it. But Hulkneck still has 1 shell and Shokish and Mary will reload. Vetso would have to outplay his wits to win this one.
Veko stuck between a...
still 1 shell and
between
again
a rock and a hard place, and that damaged gun for Hulkneck. He must be cursing his luck right now. Veko must be like, that's unbelievable. But Shokish gets the final kill there. And that's 1-1 Kazna crew ding on Cliff.
It's still a good deal for them, I would say. Like, it was really close game and Kazna played well. So there is no sign of those weaknesses we've been talking about. They had every fighting chance even to take it up 2-0 because if we memorize well, Kazna lost last 2 matches because every time on one map they would lose 2-0. It was either Murovanka in one case or Prokhorovka in other. But that's the decider. Every other map was 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, but that is kind of big deal. So Kazna actually had a chance to take it up to 2-0, didn't, but they can be happy about their performance so far.
Okay, and are you expecting this to be a 1-1 trade for the other maps that we have, or are you expecting one team to start to take the lead?
I really cannot judge that. That really is up to the players. For Kazna, it would be best to go that way at the moment because they need points much more than Dink.
Okay, so let's have a look at where the damage came from in that match as we can bring up the post-battle stats. So Vetso for Kazna crew coming out there on top damage, but then the next 3 players are all Ding players, Mojo.
Well, Ding is pretty much overwhelming here, and it's also 4 of them, I would say even, are next. But Vetso finally they're at the top together with Haiba. I think team was quite missing that for a long time because those 2 were underperforming in several matches in a row. And if they settle back where they used to be, this team will function again in the future.
Gisne not having a good game there in the T49. Is that 2 games in a row? He's been kind of...
Gisne was crucial damage dealer in last game, so don't take it away from me.
Okay,
like,
so he was crucial,
spotter and damage
so
dealer. This one, he did it pretty much as much as Kuritz, like 20 damage less, but he didn't see where or who.
So a single shot basically from each T49, but they have the damage potential to wreck the bat chats if they can penetrate them.
If it depends. Also, it's how it's positioned, and if you miss and you get caught, it's not like the smallest of the lights in the game. It's quite bulky and big. That's why people use it as a corpse sometimes on Ruinberg as protection.
To hide behind it. Yeah.
So it's the game like that.
So for our next match, we're going to be going to Murovanka.
Yeah, Murovanka is kind of a problem for Kazna now because they've been struggling a bit lately to it. I think last time they lost their 2-0 and it was a problem. Also, we remember that there was in 2 different matches, they got completely annihilated while capping in one match literally on 0 seconds, 0 or 2-3 seconds, and they bounced the guy with Bachat running away. Like, curses, what kind of game is that? Yes, and then in the last game even, after like managing to do something against Utopia, they still got wrecked on that cap. So, tough map, but a lot of time to learn.
Well, it'll be interesting to see which vehicles are going to be used this time as we can bring them up on screen. And, well, not quite what we saw last time round because Kazna crew are on the attack this time.
Well, Kazna pretty much changed only one thing here. They took 1390 instead of budget APs. They used like 2 tier 9 budgets. So they took 1390 for spotting. I guess they needed more expendable spotter. Also, this is back to the roots for them because sometimes they used to test last game, like they took one T57 and so on. On other hand, Ding plays identical here. They didn't change a thing since the last time they played Murovanka. And Murovanka is decent map for them even, I would say.
Usually when I see teams playing Murovanka
at least on
defense or even on attack, this E5 usually ends up a lot of the time. I mean, it was one of the games that was actually the saving grace, but sometimes it just gets thrown out to the wolves and used as bait. Do you think that's going to happen this time, or is it going to be a key tank?
We will see this game. Like, it's all about how will teams plays those tanks.
Okay then, so we are ready to go into battle number 2 between Kazna crew and Ding on Murovanka.
Murovanka, a map with a great number of buildings, bushes and trees, amongst which teams hide for most of the battle. The attacking team begins the battle from the top of the village, and the defenders start from the bottom of the map. Both bases are better controlled from the hill near the first base, and from the green in the lower left corner of the map. There are many attack directions. The attacking team often attempts to gain the attention of defenders by putting pressure on the first base, whilst manoeuvring several tanks behind the second base to deliver fire into the defending's flank. Team setups are very diverse, but the players often choose the fastest tanks, even for heavy setups. They could even bring SPGs.
So here we go with Kazna crew on the attack and Ding on the defense. How do you see this one going, Mojo?
Well, Kazna with this lineup usually went for the forest side. They were clearing the cap and then playing on, but honestly they can do whatever. They can just press in. Ding really standard setup there with E5, and that's kind of an anchor tank you can put, and then you just surround it with mediums for rotations. So Koritz in standard bush. I think this is identical what they played even last time. I think Koritz is even in the same bush.
It's going for a rush. Kazna crew are going to try and do the rush with the 3 Batchats, but already Ding were ready to counter it.
Breakneck.
Breakneck was ready. He was in position, able to spot it out, and they're going to quickly focus on Breakneck, but all the guns of Ding are there over to give overlap as well. Shots are coming in fast and furious as Breakneck looks to be taking a massive amount of damage. He's only in 270 health left, but the counterfire's coming back, and Urofish is taking a massive amount of hits as well. Now he's got a dead driver. One absolutely chaotic start to this match.
Kazna started to do something like Oops did to them. So they lost a guy there, if I remember correct, Ilian, but Breakneck was a bit more careful and he had really a lot of luck to survive there. And Kazna just was too greedy. After that initial salvo, which was for free, they should have just ran away. This is a good comeback for them because Koritz dying is a huge asset. Now they can rotate other side of the map.
So Veko and Hyber looking to get some shots into Positive, but the danger is they've only got 3 shots between them, and Positive is going to come off in a reload. 3 shots is not going to be enough to kill a Batchat, but Yizne's giving crossfire, and there's Nexus coming in as well. It's Positive actually who drops there to Nexus. Hulknick looking for shots here. Kazna crew in the open here, but a lot of this, they still have all their guns available to shoot on Ding. It's just a matter of who's on reload, who's not on reload now.
Kazna is really using all advantages they have in these fast tanks. Like they're pressuring Ding like wasps from all the sides, and Ding cannot turn around anywhere specifically. Now they have a big problem. The rotation tanks they have, Mary and Breakneck, are really almost dead. Mrakar is a big fat tank and he will get shot from afar wherever he goes. And Hulknik, that tank was never meant for rotations, it's just a port tank. It's just chunky medium that's easily penetrated and spotted.
So very sneaky move here from Yizne. He's going into cap number 2 to try and force a move from Ding to deal with him. Breakneck's having to rotate around the bottom to deal with him, but Breakneck does not have the HP to do that. He's only in 270 health. On Kazna crew, however, we have Alien on 64 health. He's somehow hanging in there by the skin of his teeth. Urofish on 287. Veko on 358 health. Kazna crew have 3 tanks that can be one-shotted. Yizne's sitting in this bush. Nobody can spot him right now. At some point, someone's going to have to go forward and spot him, and that's going to expose him to the guns of Kazna crew.
This is the value of light tanks now. Look at this. Yizne is capping. He's a light tank, so it's practically impossible to spot him. And he has so much experience, HP compared to other guys now, that they really have to commit to find him.
So Maraka just trying to poke over here to see where Kazna Crew are, but the minute Kazna Crew want to peel back and rotate or something like that, they're going to lose sight of them. It looks like Mertorius is going to be the one to try and spot out Yizne. Do Kazna have the guns available to shoot him right now? Mertorius is on 643 health, so he can be two-shotted. He'll get shots into Yizne, but even just one shot from Yizne back onto him is going to give him a lot of information. And he's spotted by Yizne as well. He still hasn't spotted Yizne, so Kazna know exactly where he is. Veko waiting there to give Yizne covering fire.
It looks like Ding is actually ready to sacrifice Mrakar in E5 because counterattack from Kazna is expected when this happens, but they need to deal with this cap.
Oh, Maraka sticks his head up there too high and gets wiped out there by the Grill 15 from Stefan. Now we see Mertorius dropping. Veko did exactly what was needed and covered his teammate. Kazna still have all their tanks available here as they're now going to squeeze out Hulknick and Breaknick, and it looks like battle number one here is going to be going to Kazna.
This is a really strong start. I would say even with those mistakes in the start when they were over greedy trying to kill Break, that was kind of overcommitting because after that first salvo they should have just left. Immediately, that was huge advantage already. They didn't have to take all that damage. But it ended up well because Ding actually overcommitted. Koritz abandoned his bush for some reason, known to him, because they already ran away. And Positive got stuck behind that building. Everyone was in reload. Kazna actually made a good call there. That they're in reload, so they're not in position to help him, and pushed with everything they had. You saw, one guy had one shell, other guys had two shells, and Nexus was cramming from another map to finish him off.
Yeah, like when they started to move in, it's like they're going to get him, and then you can see the reload.
You're dead, bro.
I was like, you've got 3 shots between you. You know you can't take out a tank. Like it's good you're going to get the 3 shots, but he's going to turn around and just shoot one of you. Let's have a look and actually see where the damage came from in that team, because that was some nice play there from Kazna. Haiba coming out there on top damage dealer in the back chat.
Well, we found what's the secret for Kazna now to win every match.
Put Haiba in the back
And
chat.
it is game.
So top 2 tanks coming out from Kazna, then the next 2 coming out from Ding with Hulknick and Breakneck. Veko coming in there on 5th with the bat chat. Mertorius again with the bat chat, then Nexus again with the bat chat.
Quite unusual, but the guys that were struggling most for Kazna in last matches, now they're in leading positions. Haiba and Vets all over the place.
So that's actually how Kazna can do better. They just, you and Daki discussed the Trident earlier on, the kind of Holy Trinity, if you like, and now it's just, don't rely on those guys for the damage, get other guys to do the damage.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them now, and we see Positive here. He is supposed to do the damage for Ding, but he is nowhere to be found on this.
Not happy about that, with
Well,
Positive being in my fantasy team. I seem to have picked a terrible fantasy team this season. It's not going well.
For my fantasy teams, its main problem, half of them are usually not playing.
Mojo's picked a team. If you pick a team of everyone who's on the bench, that's what Mojo's done.
I change them every week and someone gets benched or something goes on vacation and they're like, what?
I think for your if you had you in the North American League, you would probably have about 50% of high voltage developers.
Oh,
okay, so we're going to be going into round 2. Kazna Crew this time on the defense with Ding on the attack.
Well, Muro is still one of the most defensive maps in the league, so that kind of gives advantage to Kazna, but as we've seen, there is always chance to put some team in offset, no matter how good they are.
And do you think after this, that means so far it's gone first match to Kazna, second match to Ding. Do you think this one's going to be first match Kazna, second match Ding, or do you think Kazna are able to steal this one
Honestly,
out?
I think Kazna now has an advantage because Cliff is Cliff and Murovanka is defensive map, and losing defense here is a big deal.
Okay, interesting. So, the tank lineups, what do you see going to be used this time, Mojo?
Well, I'm scared to even say, but I think we've already seen that. But never mind that. Kazna has been known to experiment here a lot and look for their ways. So, per lineups, which we're going to see very shortly, we can see this arty they've used before. Oh, what a surprise. Never mind.
That looks like the same lineup they had on the cliff in the first one.
Butchot's mainly used for rotation. Ice 4 is usually pushed forward a bit, so if enemy team has arty, he has low silhouette, so he can deal with it. Also, he can bounce those tanks when they pick around the corner, like those Butchots did to shoot Breakneck. STB is usually in a corner covering him, and TVP somewhere behind. But Ding, 357s here.
Okay, now question for you. Kazna Crew on the defense, Kazna Crew and attack earlier on were all Batchats. Now Ding this time have 3 T57 heavies. What's the difference in their tactics that we're going to be seeing here?
Well, last time we've seen Ding play something like this. This is even harder setup. They had two 57s, but they had 1390. So this kind of setup is more pro fighting. So they will look for a fight. Last time they were just setting up crossfires and playing the lower field. I think with this lineup they might actually go to cap 1.
Okay, so let's jump straight into action. As we can see here with Kazna Crew on the defense and Ding on the attack. I'm interested to see how these T57 heavies will do, because it's a very, well, heavy lineup compared to what Kazna Crew just had, which was quite a flexible lineup. So Kazna Crew have to be careful when they're trading with these tanks, because obviously the T57s per shot do more damage than the Batchats.
Well, they're going again for the lower part of the woods. And they're just leaving some Batchats here on the upper part, so they spot the rotation, and there is two of them. Because it's known fact that if you leave only one, there is a high chance he will miss something and he can get caught by 2 or 3 guys rotating there to check out is there anything going on that part of the field. Kazna has that annoying Crusader. I think this is the reason why Ding actually gave up. Gonna push on one cap because he shoots every few seconds. He has a mortar kind of gun. Mortar means he shoots up to the sky and then the shell falls down. So that's kind of annoying. It does practically no damage, but it resets, and the cap is there, the biggest tool on one cap.
So with the lineup from Ding, it's not really a lineup that's going to focus on a cap rush, is it? With the T57 heavies there.
Well, not against this kind of lineup that Kazna has. But now we have another problem. Kazna already played this, and they really kept the lower field and lower cap unspotted like now, and they lost that game because of that by far. And they're doing it again. I really don't understand that because their rotations are already off and late. I mean, you cannot really blindly go and push anywhere, but honestly, they could have risked a bit and played more defensive on one cap and maybe made a trap on two cap. That would be a good tactic.
So with Kazna having the Crusader, they're not likely to then take a scout, are they? Because that's effectively taking two potential damage sources out of the team.
Still, you need to put at least one Batchat somewhere to see that cap. Or, as I said, they could have just left Iris-4 somewhere back here as kind of anchor.
Yeah.
And everyone else could have made a trap down and just shot the 57s while they're approaching. If they're going down, if they're not, they can just rotate back because they have that little nasty arty Crusader who can decap without even seeing the tanks. Because his reload allows him that. He shoots every 6-7 seconds.
So Karitz just pokes his head into the cap circle there as Shockish looks to have taken, or Alien looks to have taken a hit from Shockish, who's now on a reload. Kazna Crew, they're on the defensive, which means they're going to wait for Ding to come towards them. But right now, you get the feeling that Kazna's perhaps just given up a bit too much map coverage and vision.
No, this is too passive. I don't like it. And they cannot actually wait for Ding to do anything. Cap pressure is already on. And Kazna's rotation is late for like 20 seconds already. They're trying to do some blind shooting with Alien and maybe connect the tank that is capping. We've seen it yesterday happen on steps by Rusty Roster, no less. They were giving the lessons in that, but this is not happening now.
You can see the shots there coming in from everywhere. Breakneck takes a shot back in counter, and he actually has a dead driver, so he's not running with a medipack there, so he can't heal his driver.
But Breakneck is on another part of the map, and Kazna knows that, and the guys that are pressuring the cap are below, and they're pretty much safe on full HP. And here is the preparation for Kazna rotation, Nexus and Fishy on K-line.
At some point, someone's going to have to rush out
It's
to
going to
spot
be a big
Karitz,
fight now.
and they're going to get wrecked as Alien continues to take shots right now. Veko taking one again. Alien takes another one. He's had to quickly heal his gunner who died there as well. Not looking good for Alien. He's meant to be effectively the team sniper, and he's now on a one-shot. Now, this is kind of going back to what Kevin was saying in an interview earlier on, Mojo, that Kazna sometimes are just playing a bit too passively. They're playing a bit too scared of their opponents, aren't they?
Ding is already doing all preparations to stop Kazna, and Kazna doesn't even guess the angle where Kuritz is correct. This is the biggest problem. Look at this, Alien just fell for free.
As we were just saying there, Alien overextending, getting himself shot there by Breakneck. Eurofish runs out to spot Karitz, but he's probably going to get himself killed for this quick spot, and it's not looking good at all for Kazna. They really have given up so much vision on the map. Eurofish looks like he might get away here. Some of the shots coming in from Ding, and no, Positive finishes him off, and that's 2 now down Kazna Crew. 3 now down on Kazna Crew as Hulknick is able to get the drop on Stefan. This is an absolute, arguably, implosion, Mojo, from what just happened in the previous round.
Now, honestly, when you play with that little arty, you cannot commit all the forces on that top cap. You really need to... The utmost danger, the same way they lost previous time they played with that RT. They lost again, just to different lineup and different team.
So in answer for losing 3 of their teammates, Kazna Crew are able to drop Hulknick, but right now this is a bit too little too late, as Ding still have 6 guns on the battlefield and they are all autoloaders.
Yes, and they're just using Koritz on cap to farm those cap points. Everyone else will just press Kazna here in close combat, so Kazna cannot really do any rotations. And there you go, those 57s are coming in. And how can you deal with them with STB or ICE-4 the single shooters? Like, there's gonna be a world of pain now coming in.
And this looks like the beginning of the end for Kazna Crew as Notorious and Positive take out Veko here. The next one to fall is going to be Haiba as they turn their guns onto him. Positive still with 3 shells in the magazine. Shockist empties out his 2. There drops Haiba. All we have left is Nexus to run away and think to himself, guys, what just happened there? This was not an expected showing from Kazna Crew. The team lineups, we'd already saw a glance of them in the first map on Cliff, but that didn't make any difference to the teams here. The teams came in here with their own plans, and the match ends there on a positive note for Ding as Positive takes out the last remaining player from Kazna, and we have it 2-2. Mojo, I think this one's going to go all the way potentially.
Well, so far so good for Kazna. It's 2-2, but this was a throw for them again. Actually, not. I can't even say again because last game was when it was on Cliff. It was a fighting chance, but this was just a throw because it was a bad tactic from the start, and they played inferior from the start. So it was just a matter of time how will Ding take them out. Ding just took all the free gifts Kazna gave. Like, they gave entire free field down, nothing able to spot. They had to suicide Fish to try to spot it, to suicide a tier 10 for that. Why didn't they just leave him in a bush then in the first place?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
at least it would take some time to Ding to try to dig him out from the bushes with those 57s, and they don't have unlimited shells.
It's interesting to see when someone takes that Crusader, you know what their tactics are going to be. You know that he's going to try for the cap reset on 1. So how do you counter that? You just don't go to the 1 base. You can see here the top 3 players for damage in that battle was Shockish, Breakneck, Positive. All 3 of them Ding players. Then we have Haiba Nexus. And the IS-4 for Kazna was the top damage dealer. None of their Batchats were able to get on, well, there's Nexus there, but none of their other Batchats were able to get there on the top page. So the damage, the vision just wasn't there for Kazna.
Well, Ilian really tried to do some damage there, but at the end of the line, look at this. Blind shooting, 13 shots, 0 connections, died first. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to play it.
And you're saying as
Fishy
well...
also, look at this. He was trying to spot that, 0 damage. Isne managed to do 34 damage out of 22 shots with that little RT. Like that says it all. There is nothing more to see here.
Yes, a very unfortunate match for Kazna. Hopefully they can do something on the next match, which we're going to have, or the next map, sorry, which is going to be Ghost Town.
Wow.
Is this another good map, or is that a bad map for Kazna, Mojo?
Well, overall, Ding has 83% win rate on Ghost Town. Kazna has like 57. So if you watch like that, no. Kazna's been prone to some suicide attacks in attack here. So I guess they will not do that anymore. Like, even a Wild Bunch crossfired them and annihilated them in that moment. And they even played with Arty. So what we're gonna see here from Kazna, I expect is a bit more tactical game, or at least if they press, it's not just gonna be that kind of YOLO.
The danger as well is that we've talked about it in the past, and it's always, I never like bringing it up, but it's always a thing that you have is the Kazna tilt. And right now they're happy, sad, happy, sad. You know, they're winning a game, they're losing a game. Is that going to affect the players
honestly,
mentally?
about this last game, they can only be said about their tactic, not about performance. There was nothing to perform. Tactic was flawed from the start. It's kind of easier that way because you know you didn't just flip your tank, you know, like this and end up on your roof. So you can, hey, sorry guys, we're gonna lose the match because of me. So that didn't happen. This is just that kind of game. They were just helpless because of initial tactic.
Okay, so what kind of... Actually, I was just going to say, what kind of tanks do we expect to see? But we can actually look at the tanks and see exactly what we're going to get, Mojo.
We were doing some interesting survey lately, and we noticed that Bachat is picked on 35% of all the tanks in complete league on any map altogether. So yeah, when you say Bachat, you're going to do 100% of every map.
Like, which tank do we expect to Bachat, maybe? So both teams taking E1s, so that's kind of interesting, I would say.
Yeah, Ghost Town is one of the maps where people are playing harder setups now, more and more, giving up on light tanks that they used in before, and we see more and more of these T-54 E1s, American mediums, because of that burst damage. Now, Ding really played with more clippers in defense, but now they took all single shooter lineup with those FE heavies and 1-1-3. So that's kind of different because they use 7 clippers. Kazna, on the other hand, changed also a bit here.
Okay, so we're ready to jump into action now on Ghost Town, where we'll have Kazna crew on the attack, Ding defending at 2-2. Let's have a look and see how this battle goes.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Okay, so here we go, Mojo. Are we likely to see fairly standard tactics, or do you think anyone's going to try and do something different?
Well, Kazna used like 2 VZs, single shooters, previously, and more slower lineup like I7 and FV. That didn't work out that well for them, honestly. And I think this setup is much more mobile and much more meta than the old one they used. So far, they're not trying to do any kind of cap pressure on one cap because this lineup even says we want to fight. And they're really hardcore spotting the lower side and pressing that E line. They really like it for some reason. Even in last match when they won this side, this is how they did it. They pressed it from this side, where the 3 tanks are, exactly there, Vetso, Fishy and Hypa. And other guys were doing a crossfire because Utopia, when they played against them, Ghost Town kind of went really aggressive and suicided a bit some tanks. A slight hiccup there from Utopia happened, and Kazna took that game. But Kazna saw nothing, and there is rotation.
Alien getting some quick spots out for his team. Kazna initially headed down south of the map, and now they're going to rotate to the north of the map around the number 1 base. Usually teams fight over number 1 base, and 2 teams don't cap on 2, do they? It always ends up a gunfight if they go in for 2.
Yeah, 2 is really almost impossible to defend, and it always ends up in a big brawl because once you are pressed on a cap, you need to do a counter push. And then if you do a correct choice where to do it, you win a game. If you run in a crossfire, well, you can guess.
And here we have Eurofish in the 113 setting off the base cap. A very common place for low tanks with nice curved sloped bouncy turrets to start the cap. He knows roughly where the shots are going to come in from Ding. There's a couple of roads and corners people can poke around. But it looks like Ding are actually rotating south as well.
They have no means to actually decap him because they don't use that light on high position. They would be able to shoot him if he's doing some dirty capping behind the buildings, but there in that defilate, they would do a lot of damage. So here comes. Ding is really already rotating and preparing for a fight.
Ding coming in round the back as there's like Positive, Hulknick and Shockish are going to rush in here and try and get some shots. Can he focus a single tank down? Looks like Hyba's going to be the one that they go and try and eliminate, and he's dropped first. Great shooting there from Ding. Positive fire, great aimed tanks of getting all the shots into one player. Shockish is going to go next down for Ding, but he looks like he might hang on, as will Hulknick on 98 there. Kazna's shot discipline's not coming out as we've lost another player as well. Vizny dropping. Ding making their shots count right now.
This is a really huge pressure for Ding. They chose to go with all 7 on practically one line and just destroy the inferior number of Kazna tanks there. Now we've seen this kind of play that Kazna did work, but the teams that were doing it, like Nekkegrut, they had 4 57s there. They were clipping out in seconds there.
Ding still have all their tanks right now after this exchange. Maturis is going to get shots into Eurofish. He can only get a shot back as Maturis is going to get off probably his entire clip here into Eurofish. Eurofish is dropped. All we have left is Alien. Ding not losing a single tank in this exchange, although Hulknick has only got 98 health left. Breakneck has got 200. Alien is caught out there between Positive and Breakneck. That is a clean sweep for Ding on Ghost Town. Mojo, what happened to Kazna there?
I hope we will not see another 2-0 because this could be decider map for Ding in this moment. What happened there is they just got outmatched. In the last game they played here, they managed to win, and they saw some people get suicide when they're going that street, so they get blown up and so on. But you need certain amount of tanks to do it. Kazna shot everything they had, and it didn't even scratch Ding enough. We saw Hulknick was maybe on one shot, but everyone else was still there and pressing. And you saw Ding, they had actually a lot of single shooter tanks. So when all the clippers went reload.
The focus fire came in from Ding. They eliminated, I think it was Hyba was the first one they went for, and then they turned and focused on Yizne. Now to counter, to Kazna's credit, they tried to focus on someone as well, but he was left on just that 98 health, like you said. They didn't just quite get off the last shot. And then by that time, Kazna pulled
The
away.
problem with those clippers is they are kind of bouncy, but when you shoot gold shells, especially from higher altitude, you are always in huge advantage and they cannot really bounce then. So Kazna was in inferior position there and they just didn't have enough guns to stop this kind of push.
So let's have a look at who actually did all the damage there for Ding, as that exchange from Kazna was quite quick. Positive there, and 113 coming out on top of his autoloaders.
Yeah, it's pretty normal when in a push like this, since when all the reloaders go, he's still there pumping the damage and
Yes.
pushing. And that's why it was very important for Ding to have a guy like Hulknik still alive, even though he was on crutches there.
Yep, Alien and Stefan doing what they can in the back chat and AMX 50B, but it's not going their way as the first page is dominated by Ding players, with only 2 of them featuring on the next page. So 5 players out of 7 coming top damage there for Ding. And
Kazna and Haiba and Isne pretty much didn't do enough damage there and they got blown up really easy, because with those tanks you actually need to do at least a second clip to make them pay off.
yeah, they need
And
to.
between themselves they did about the damage that one guy would do.
It's unfortunate from Kazna. Now the thing is can Kazna take a deep breath, say, okay guys, let's calm it down, let's just, let's not get too emotional about it right now. There's still matches and points to be won here. Or right now are Kazna just going at each other?
Well, this is a second loss in a row now at the moment, and kind of Muravanka game, the defense was the sad one. So I'm really hoping they're not tilting, because this game will probably break the match, the next one. If Kazna wins it, they're still in. They lose it, it's going to be match point for Ding. There will be 3 games in a row and loss. Not good.
On this one now we have Kazna on the defense with Ding on the attack. Do you think Ding are going to look for a cap, or do you think Ding, on the back of 2 wins, are just going to go out there looking for a fight?
Ding usually goes for a fight on this map, but and also this map is not very known for defensive properties. It's actually pro for attackers. Usually attackers win more. So Kazna just lost an attack here, so for them it's not perfect, but they need to try to do better. For them it's critical not to get capped, one,
Okay.
and not to get caught in some rotation trying to decap if they're pressured. So let's see what they choose to do. There is various different tactics they can use.
Okay. I mean, I would like to think that Kazna can come back from this. I'd like to think Kazna can...
It will be fun for us,
can bounce
definitely,
back.
because then that's a really big match.
That's a
That's a
huge match.
matchup we need.
They'll take it to 3-3, and then we'll be going into the next match, which is going to be Prokhorovka. Kazna, not a great record on Prokhorovka, certainly when they're playing Gohard recently. Gohard completely outplayed them on Prokhorovka. Ding, I'm not so sure about how Ding are doing in Prokhorovka, but here's the
Actually
thing.
doing quite well there.
We can go to lineups, and there's something I want to ask you about the lineups that I noticed here. So, on Ding's side, why 2 T57 heavies and an AMX 50B? Why not 3 AMXs, or why not 3 T57s?
Well, EMXs are kind of given up in the last moments, because 57s have a better reload and they bounced more with that HD model. So in that perspective, they are better. But some players don't like it, so there might be a personal choice of a player. Okay, I really like 50B more, or it can be just rotation-wise, because 50B is just faster tank and it gets from A to B faster. So if you want to keep him somewhere offhand to cover you, it's better to have him than 57. 57 is meant for a front line.
Okay, and on Kazna's lineup, they're bringing a T57 heavy as well, so almost like they kind of had a rough idea of which other would be doing.
Kazakh has kind of a slower setup here. It's mainly meant to defend the middle against the push when you have tanks like this.
Okay then, let's see what Kazna's tactics are going to be on defense, and let's see if Ding can squeeze this one out as they're on the attack here on Ghost Town. Can Ding make it 4-2, or can Kazna bring it back to 3-3? Mojo, talk us through the start of this match.
Just gonna say, Ding has again identical lineup like they used in the last match, so they're using their standards. They're just shifting tank positions maybe, but not the tanks themselves. So, by the play they're using now, we see they're pressuring the lower side. That usually means we are looking for a fight. And those 57s should linger around the 2 cap, because that's where they get best angles to shoot someone while they're crossing from left to right. We saw TWB tanks yesterday in a match get annihilated because they were just trying to cross from one line to another, and 57s were just clipping them for free all over and all over again. I hope Kazna will not do something reckless like this, but this is big push.
So Aliens managed to get himself up to the normal spot where you would see light tanks going. That's just to give him coverage onto base one if anything happens there. But once the fight starts, once they have a rough idea of where Ding is, Alien might have to come swooping out of that area, because that's just to cover the 113 or the IS-4 commands. Eurofish is the first one to be shot from positive and gets a counter shot back, but he takes another one in return. So
it's not good because he doesn't realize how many tanks is coming there, and he has nowhere to go even now.
He's got his back exposed to him as well, which is the weakest armor. He gets a shot back into positive, but positive gets one, and Eurofish is deleted. He was caught out on his own with no support really from his team. Not a great start from Kazna.
Fishy there went down for free completely, and this is really a horrible start for them. They are already almost 2000 HP down. Ding can afford any kind of thing now. They can just pull back, reload, and go other cap if they wish. They're not bound to play here.
This is a very unfortunate situation for Kazna, as that was Eurofish in one of the auto loaders. So I was actually seeing earlier on that, oh never mind, I was getting mixed up there with tanks. So Nexus getting caught here by Breakneck as Breakneck gets shots into Nexus. Oh, that's a huge amount of damage coming. Great play from Breakneck.
Nexus was the guy covering Fishy from the flank, but he pulled back. There was, I guess, miscommunication between them because Fishy was supposed to pull back together also in that moment. I don't know why he stayed there. Was he already stuck and spotted? But now, from looking bad to looking horrible.
Now Ding just pushing into middle here to basically say to Kazna, hey, we're right here, we're in base 2, what are you going to do? You're going
Look
to
at
come
this,
in and
is
get
interesting. Look at Koritsky. He is actually in a corner, so he has adding up more meters to his proxy range of a tank. This is how the game works. Although there is a wall between them, there is still that proxy range, and whenever any tank enters that imaginary circle around him, he will get spotted. That's why he is not in a cap, but he's doing that. As you see how he spotted Vetso.
Spotted Vessel, Vessel spots him in return. Now Kazna are going to have to come in and rush the cap here to reset it, which is going to be very close. Someone's going to die as soon as they do it. Vexel is going to be the one to do it. Hyber's going to go around the other side. They might leave this too late. Kazna need to hurry up and get the shots in. They get one there into Hulkneck as Maraka turns around and shoots Vexel. Hyber's getting shots into the Shockish now as the shots coming in. Nexus is now dropped by Positive. Veko's now dropped by Maraka. Kazna don't have the guns left to be able to exchange in this fight.
Kazna actually looked decent here, but it will not help them at the end of the day. Ilian managed to take out Positive, and there are other guys like Mrakar falling in a cap, but HP advantage is so humongous.
Breakneck getting another shot and then getting another kill for his team as Hybaz poking around the corner and overextending a bit. Shockish is just about to come off reload. He's going to finish him. All we have left is Elin and Stefan left for their team on Kazna. Stefan's now getting caught out in the open from Ding. Stefan, good night, mate. That's not going to go your way. And Alien is dropped right after it. 4-2 Ding. Kazna crew. Come on, Kazna. We wanted a bit more of this. We wanted a good exchange between the two of them, but
it was really just mistakes. Again, mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. Little ones they seem in the start, but after that they are just like a snowball. You go put it down the hill and it just grows and grows. Fishy being late to pull back together with Nexus. Nexus going away 100%, and Fishy staying there to trade shots with Positive and just getting caught by entire team, annihilated. Tank minus immediately. Kazna already Clipper down, and they have a lot of single shooters. When that cap is pressured, it's really a problem. You saw that. Exchange was not good for them, because while they fire one shot, those Clippers do 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was... He got caught and he had his back to him as well. It's like, oh, there's an enemy tank there. It's like, dude, move. Like, don't stay there. But let's have a look at the damage and see actually who got all the shots there and kills for the team. Shockish and Meritorious there having great performances on the autoloaders, with Breakneck coming in third there. Only one Kazna player on page 1 tells its own story, doesn't it?
And it was a T57 player, 8 shots. I believe he penned all 8 to do that kind of damage.
So, great play from Shockish and Meritorious there, and carrying their team on the T57 and the AMX-30. Vetso...
blown up when he went around to try to decap. They focused him first.
Eurofish was able to get his 2 shots off and land the 2 shots, but he got caught completely in open at the start. That really... And this is
Nexus was also after that caught by Breakneck, and he was on low HP and shot off easy when the fight started. So they were practically -2 tanks when the fight started. They were 5-on-7.
And this is what I was going to say with Kazna. When this thing happens with Kazna and they start to play scrappy, what happens is usually you get one player who's just like, pfft, and gets himself completely caught out in the next match. So things go okay, Kazna start to get a bit rocky, then one or two players just get caught in a completely bad situation. And to me that's like there's arguments going on. Like people are like, sod you guys, I'll do my own thing. And they're not doing the whole, like, guys, come on, let's get this back together, focus. It goes back to a team of individuals rather than a team of players.
I cannot judge about that. I didn't play with them in a long time, but I think they're too good friends to just argue like that. Also, mistakes are made, and it's usually to lack of training more than to something like just going out of your wits on TeamSpeak.
Okay, so let's have a look at the lineups for what's going to be the fourth match between these two teams. We're on Prokhorovka with Ding on the attack, Kazna on the defense.
Well, Ding is advantage anyway you look at it, not by lineup, but their Prokhorovka for them is like 67% win, Kazna's not so much, like barely 45. Also Kazna 3 games in a row lost now, not even by close, not even close. So Ding on offense, here what they have to offer us is pretty much similar lineup. They used to play with 3 object 140s, if you remember,
Okay.
and 3 Bachats. Now they have an STB and TVP. So they added that up a little clipper and one more cooldowner for difference, I would say. But the playstyle should be very similar.
Okay, let's see if Ding can squeeze this one out and... Oh, squeezes, that's really bad. Appropriate term to use, sorry. Let's see if Ding can actually win this match 5-2, or are Kazna going to bring it back to 3-4 and Prokhorovka?
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
Okay, so here we go on Prokhorovka. Kazna crew, can they defend? Can they hold on for another battle against Ding and perhaps take it into a tiebreaker? Or are Ding going to just see this one out, Mojo, and take away another victory?
Kazna is in stick-together team business here. Last time they played against Gohar, they did a silly split, leaving only one tank on A0 alone. It didn't go well. They got shot one by one. Finally, some more cohesive play, and we'll have a huge fight.
This is going to be decided here and now as both teams just collide into each other on the east side of the map. This is going to be down to shot discipline. Shokish and Koritz exchange shots. Yizne's getting focused now by Ding as Ding's trying to look for who they can get shots onto from Kazna. Kazna crew trying to line up the shots on Ding. It looks like the first one to drop is Yizne, unfortunately. Veko's taking shots back and has been ammo racked. Urofish is going down. He's just ammo racked as well, and he has a broken tracks as Hyber's covering in for his teammates to take some shots. The shots coming back from Kazna are not very good as Ding is able to retreat back over the railway lines here and use that as a bit of cover as everyone from Kazna is out in the open, which is not good. Urofish is about to be dropped. Hyber's about to be dropped. Oh, Kazna, come on, get some cover here right now.
Ding is playing so smart, all those good positions. Also, once they were in reload, they were already crossing the rail and they were covered by their cooldown tanks like Object 140s, STBs, and so on. This is some late damage coming in from Ilian, but he's a single shooter and he will be highly pressed now. So only guys that stayed on the other side of the rail are now light tank Koritz, and even Shokish and Positive ran away.
Breakneck and Shokish pushing up here on Alien at the top of the map. If they can take him out and rotate over, that will give them crossfire into the backlines of Kazna crew. Alien's able to hold him off there. He fires a single shot, but he's in the danger of getting flanked, as we can actually see. It looks like Shokish coming around the back of him. It's a great play from Shokish. Absolutely great play there, knowing that he can flank round. Hyba's then dropped into the middle. Oh, this is not going good for Kazna. Two of their tanks, which are all, I'm just going to say two of the tanks. Urofish is now dropped as well. Veko's left, he's got a damaged ammo rack. Nexus has got a damaged flank. Stefan's now getting caught out by Positive. He's having to hide behind the building. Ding have 6 guns still in the game right now. This is all but done pretty much, Mojo, I'm afraid.
This is pretty much over. Veto even has a damaged ammo rack, so that's not gonna help to Kazna. That's why he's limping away so much. Nexus firing the last shot. I don't believe there will be a next one for him in this game. It was really good in a start for Kazna. Kazna gave their best there, but after that we could see they're not well prepared for all the maps, and Ding was just overwhelming and secure. It's not enough to beat them on some maps. A lot of teams took 1 or 2 games from Ding, but barely anyone. Just Gohard took 4 once, and that's anyone who came closest to them.
And with Vetso dropping there, that is 5-2 to Ding.
Decisive victory even.
Decisive victory. It was fortunate in a way that both teams went to the same side. They were going to engage in the fight, but when the fight engaged, Ding could come back over the railway lines to their advantage. They had a bit more extra cover with the way that that map terrain set up, but their focus fire into Kazna was just better than return fire from
Focus
Kazna at
fire
that time.
to Kazna and the specific position of tanks were much better, and that's planning, mate. That's how it goes. There is no fortune there. You are either aware of your positions and you know how to deal with them, or not. Kazna was a bit chaotic there. They didn't have a good communication with heavy tanks who were getting shot here and mediums here. Mediums didn't have all those good shots because Ding was doing well job protecting themselves by buildings.
So Prokhorovka turning into a bit of a bogey map for Kazna, isn't it? It's not a map that we would be happy to play on.
Well, Gohard played it really well, and I would say Kazna then did some stuff that I wouldn't consider smart. This has nothing to do with tactics now. This was a good call by Kazna to go on that side and look for the fight. This was just now their team performance versus Ding, and Ding was better.
So let's have a look at the damage done on that map and actually see who was able to get in all the shots there from Ding. And we can see the top Breakneck in the STB1, followed by Shockish and then Hulkneck.
It's really rare occasion in a massive direct brawl like this when you see actually a tank like STB to be a top damage dealer. Because this was a constant shooting position, so that means Breakneck was constantly in a place where he could apply damage to Kazna.
He was somewhere where he could shoot lots. I mean, the STB, one of its disadvantages is its aim time. The circle comes in sometimes really slow.
And the squishy armor.
All the times, yeah. It's squishy armor. It's turrets at strength and it's gun depressions at strength. To be able to do that damage, exactly as you're saying, he's been in a position where he's just sat and gone, feed me targets, guys. This is great, feed me targets. You would always expect the bat chats to come out on top of an STB on that map. You would never expect STB. So he's had a fantastic game there, hasn't he?
No, but it looks like a really good reads by Ding, because this kind of lineup, a slight change from the last time, really gave them huge advantage over Kazna, because they really responded perfectly. Like when the initial engagement started, everyone emptied the clips. The clippers from Ding immediately ran over the rail. You could see them on the screen while they were shooting on Kazna heavy tanks. The single shooters were shooting Kazna heavy tanks. You could see them. They just squeezed in behind immediately while they were reloading and preparing for the next phase of attack already. And while that was going on, Kazna had no means to apply any extra pressure to Ding, but those single shooters, Object 140s and STB, they were just all the time shooting.
Okay, so we're going to eventually bring up the post-match statistics, so the damage across all of the battles. Who do you think is going to be top? Do you think... Oh, well, there we go. Before I can even get, I was going to say, it's going to be Breakneck, Shockish or Notorious. Who do you think?
It was a while for Breakneck to actually be there. He had a couple of really, really bad games. Though Ding was winning constantly, he was getting wrecked all over the place. Well, this is a pleasant change for him and for everyone who was keeping him in their fantasy teams.
At 5th place, Haiba on damage. Second top damage for Kazna. That's not something you would normally expect, would you?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
So, great play there from Ding, coming out and edging the victory across there from Kazna. After a bit of a ropey start where it was 2-2 with each other, Ding came back strong and really kind of shown Kazna why they're the team that's on the top of the league. And unfortunately from Kazna, they are not looking like the team that we would expect, you know, from Kazna of last season. Daki was speaking to Kevin about this in an interview earlier on, and Kevin was saying, you know, we're coming in, we're a bit overconfident perhaps, we're a bit too cautious. And I think we saw that on those matches. Like once they started to go against Kazna, we're like should we go now, guys, or let's hold ground?
There is a big name and tradition coming behind Kazna, and that's a burden, I would say, in a lot of cases. So they just have to deal with that and go over. This is a loss against Ding. There is 4 more matches. They need to focus to win them all and to manage to get in top 6 in phase 2. Then Kazna can do all kind of preparations, because every kind of gamble and possibility will be out. Their performance can go steadily up, but they must make it there first.
That's true. That's true. So Kazna still in the league. Obviously still in the league, but still got lots to play for. Still points available to take from other teams. Ding, another strong showing from Ding, trying to stake their claim at the top of the table. They're constantly fighting with Utopia right now, so it'll be interesting to see at the end of the split who's actually the one
Interesting
on top or
part
not.
is Ding and Utopia are meeting each other on a very last day of phase 1.
That's going to be fun. That
Yeah, it's
could
gonna be a
be the
blast.
decider to see who gets top at that
It
particular
will be interesting
situation.
if they both keep winning and getting the same points till the end, because the only decider will
Could
be
a
direct
tiebreaker.
clash.
Yeah, could be that clash. So next up we have Go Hard against Knackerbroad. That's going to be coming with you guys right
gonna be a
after
big
the
match.
after the break. You looking forward to that one, Mojo?
Yeah, definitely. Like Go Hard, really looking good. Knackerbrood also looking good in last match, but they need points.
Yep. Knackerbroad in the same situation as Kazna. They really need to get points on the board. Go Hard looking strong. They are not going to give up those points. Go Hard want them as well. They want to try and get into that first or second or even first place
Straight
right
from
now.
silver to the offlines. That's
Yeah,
their goal. I'm
just
pretty
go
sure.
for it. Like, are you hard for Go Hard?
Oh wow.
That's what their team motto is right now. That's what they get the fans to chant. So
You're saying they should make those knuckle bracers and like right here,
yeah,
Go Hard.
Go Hard. So in chat, we're going to either have Go Hard for Go Hard, I'm hard for Go Hard, or we're going to have Knackerbroad give me your energy. So these two guys usually have a huge support on chat. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be right back after a break, guys. So don't go away, and we'll see you soon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another match we have here lined up for you guys. My name is Ryan Murphy. Join me here is Mojo, Steel, Mojo.
Wow.
Ah!
That went well.
Oh, it's a live stream.
Just
so
Mojo is
can't
fine.
cut. Just Mojo. Just Mojo. Mihal Jugovic. Just Mojo. So, this is another match we have lined up for you guys on the Wargaming.net League European Season 1. We have here Go Hard versus Knackerboard. This is going to be an outstanding match. We're looking forward to it. So, the standings. Do we have the standings? No, we don't have the standings, do we?
Well,
Nope.
Gohard currently was sitting before the last match on 4th position, and he is safe. They have 13 points, so they are safe. We all know that they need 12, so they can go to the phase 2. On the other hand, Knekkebrud is 9th, and they have only 7 points. So they need 5 minimum to just stay alive,
Okay.
and that's quite a lot. Also, some of the matches that are awaiting them, they actually give them perspective that they will get them even if they lose this one. So same as Kazna. Kazna is actually one of the teams they will face, but also Rusty Roster, Rage Quit, Legend, and so on. So there is potential for them to still get the points. On the other hand, Gohard doesn't need them, but what they want is to prove their strength as a young team coming in from the silver here, and they're playing really exquisitely well. They want to show us their ability, and for sure they want to qualify to top 6, and all the points are left. We already said that. So all the points gained in this first part will be there in the second part, and they will actually matter and probably judge in the future phase.
Okay, so Go Hard's going to be our first team of the day, our first team that we can give some information about. What can you tell us about these guys, Mojo?
Well, we already mentioned Dani is their leader. He came from another Silver League team, Gunrunners, as far as I remember. Diplomat, carry, hard carry for them. We've seen him play on the last Mines solo carry. I mean, solo carry and recovery of about 2000 HP against Kazna. Then we have guys like Kaizu, who didn't really manage the climb on that map, but never mind. On others, he's doing well. And Kerry Berry, I really like how he actually plays that bachat. So really nice team. And we even have 1 or 2 guys that are capable of some hard carry if needed.
Certainly, they're my favourite team, Go Hard. I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys do.
You just want them to make you t-shirt, be nice.
They were my pick, actually, for the league Go Hard. So I want to say these guys do. They have a couple of guys from the UK. You've got Annihilator and you have Kerry Berry in there. So they're the guys who I want to see perform this season. I want to see Go Hard make it through all the way to the finals is where I want to see these guys go.
So far, it's looking good for them if they just manage to keep focus and not allow themselves to get sunstruck by success. It will be good. So just keep work, hard work till the end, and it should pay off. As far as I'm looking them now, they might have even eventually end up in top 4 on the final stage. But they just must keep the pressure all the time. If they just let it go for some moment, they can just fall. And we've seen more than one team do that.
Yes, so can Go Hard actually stand up to it, or do they have the danger of the pressure getting to them? So as with all our teams before we jump into our matches, we have a little chat with the teams and see how actually previous talk about how the previous week went, and I talk about how this match is going to go or this weekend's going to go. So let's see how that discussion went with Daki.
So Dani, you guys played Rusty Roster last week, and that match was fairly easy for you guys. Were there any mistakes you made?
Yeah, we made a couple of mistakes in 2 battles, and that cost us that we lost, you know. And the problem was we kind of miscalled on the steps. I kind of failed the boost, so I was kind of slow, and then Diplo missed the reset. So yeah, and that caused us the battle actually. And the second loss, I don't remember, but there was some also miscommunication between me and Kaizu.
After that, Dani, you guys took down Kazna Crew, one of the favorites into the season. Was it you guys playing really well, or was it also a factor of Kazna not playing so well?
I would say we played our good battles, but Kazna played, I don't know, we expect more from Kazna, to be honest. And we are maybe lucky they didn't perform well, but it was good for us, so we don't mind at all.
Now, Dani, let's talk about Diplomat. He joined this season after leaving or getting removed from Ding. How valuable has he been for you?
Diplo was so good move, you know. Diplo is the hard carry of our team. His Lauren is so good. He can do like a fantastic shot and actually win the battle solo. Also in his TDs, like FE 405, he's calling that Babaja and he's like doing the one shots to 1-on-3s another, which is really good. And his gorilla on the mines versus Kazna was really powerful. Like we did so many mistakes, but he just keep it up in the battle and just carried like 4.5 battle. I mean damage. And Diplo was a really good move. Yeah, like also he's doing like a good mood in a team and he has like a lot of experience. So it's good. It was good step for Go.
Danny, was there a little bit of pressure in that last round against Kazna on mines there? Because that failed boost almost costed you the round there, and Kazna would have been on the defense and it might have gone to tiebreaker, but you guys still managed to close that round out.
Like Kaiser was kind of rage after that he failed the boost because of Killer Kid, but we managed to win that actually. I don't know how, I have no clue, but it was probably because Diplo just carried hard as always, you know.
Diplo carried hard as always. Now, Danny, I was going to ask you who is irreplaceable in the team, but I'm guessing the answer is going to be Diplomat at this point in time.
Yeah, I would say Diplo.
Now, let's get into your matchup. It's going to be against KB. Are you afraid of any hellish plans coming out from them?
I'm not afraid at all. I think we can beat them like really easily, but I don't want to be cocky. And we are just preparing as much as we can because we need every point at the moment to be like the best.
All right, thank you, Danny, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Daki.
So, Daki, ever with the puns there, talking about hellish plans perhaps coming from Knackerbrod. He must have spent all day,
explosive moments and so on, yes.
spent all
The
day
puns are real.
doing that one. So, we had Daki talking to Danny Zek there from Gohard. He was saying how strong Diplomat's playing for the team right now. Certainly the team MVP.
We've seen Diplo hard carry 2 matches in a row, so that's kind of expected. But also, we should mention one more team. Gohard is currently third team in a league by offensive capabilities. If you watch like a percentage of their wins in attacks, 60%. So they're only after Ding and Utopia, and they're second in defense in the league at the moment. So they're only bested by Ding. They're on 67% at the moment. Ding is on like 71. So really strong performance by them. KB nowhere close. I'm going to tell you just that.
Okay, so Knackerbrod are the team that are going to be facing Gohard. Social media there at the top, if any fans of the teams want to get involved, send those guys a message, send those guys a tweet. Monjo, what can you tell us about Knackerbrod?
Well, they have a lot of players that have to sink in. I guess Xane and Leechbear. Really good medium players like Failware. And Crux is kind of their standard sniper guy. Hellfish designing those hellish plans and weird, quirky ideas they have from time to time, but they don't always work. That's the problem. Sometimes a bit over experimenting. Crux did not perform in last of the 2 matches. Although they won the last against TWB decisively, he was not there, and on some losses before there, he was also nowhere to be found. So they kind of need him to perform now, as well as Kazna needs Haiba and those guys like Vetso to perform also.
Okay, so with Knackerbrod, they have quite a large pool of players. Do they tend to rotate through their players, or are they sticking with a kind of set order
we've
of
seen
players?
some rotations. They're coming in and out. Some are just due to tank preferentials, but some are really just to capabilities.
Okay, so as before with Gohard, Daki sat down and chatted to one of the guys from Knackerbrod. Let's see what questions Daki had in his pockets ready to unleash.
So Genghis, last week you guys played Swift, and aside from that first round, it felt like they tactically had the upper hand throughout that match.
Yes, I would agree. I think against Swift our biggest issue was that, and there's not really a reason for it, it's a bit everyone's fault I guess. We just kind of stopped moving, we didn't do anything at all. So every single game more or less it felt like we just gave them the complete opportunity to take all the map controls around us completely, and then we were kind of dead. So on one hand that was well played by them for sure, but we really up in that regard, to use that term.
In your second match, you guys played against the Wild Bunch, and that was completely the other side than what we saw against Swift. You guys pretty much were in control the entire game.
I think first of all we used more aggressive tactics in general a bit, which like forced the enemies more to react like from the very start of the game. And maybe the maps were a bit better for us too. I really don't understand why Wild Bunch picked Runeberg, because that was actually their pick if I recall correctly. And definitely we worked on it, and we did a way better job of just doing things in general, being aggressive, taking decisions, capping, whatever.
So far, KB has switched a lot of players around. What is the reason for this?
There's a lot of different reasons. For example, against, I think that was Swift, Tarantula didn't play. That was just because he had to work. Same for Lychee and Nono, who weren't there from time to time because of Gamescom. Grenadian was also absent, I think, once, and Crooks also. Again, really just because of absence. The same goes for me for the first 2 weeks of the season, where I wasn't playing. I had a visitor, so I didn't have time to do trainings. I could have played matches, but without training, that makes no sense. So it's kind of all that mixed together. I guess we have some core players which also change around a bit. And all that kind of comes together. That we basically have to switch, and we then pick who's there.
So Genghis, let's get into your matchup here. It is going to be against GoHard, a team that took down Kazna Crew. How do you feel coming into this one?
To be honest, until I saw them play against Kazna Crew, I thought it was more or less even. Maybe with a slight advantage to them, but if we play like we played against Wild Ones, I thought we would have maybe even the upper hand. But they played really, really, really well against Kazna. I was seriously impressed. And it's going to be hard, but I think we can still do it.
Genghis, thank you so much. But before we go, I heard you won't have much time to play with KB anymore. So is there anything you'd like to say to the people on the stream that have been supporting you, cheering for you?
Yes, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting me personally or KB in general. I am going to move to uni tomorrow morning, so pretty damn soon. We're Wednesday today. And I want to say a huge thank you for the entire World of Tanks community, basically, for these awesome years.
Genghis, thank you, and best of luck with your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Some very nice words there from Genghis Wolves as he's basically given his farewells before this match. Also a little bit whoopsie in there. One of the thankful reasons that we pre-record these and don't have that happening live.
Meep, meep.
Meep, meep, yes. So he was saying that with Nacrobrod's rotation for the players, it's usually been just unfortunate circumstances that have had it. Not really not really a tactical reason, but just sometimes people have just not been available when they could have been.
Lucky for them, they have a lot of players to choose from, but on bad side of them, that means they're never in a complete sync as they should be.
Yeah.
And Knekkebrod, you can see from the matches, they vary in quality how they play. You can see there is vast differences between their one game day and another. This happens just tomorrow after that.
Genghis also saying how he feels that Nacrobroad have a decent chance, but after watching GoHard play against Kazna, he's really like, wow, these guys are cool. He was really impressed with them.
Yeah, as we said, GoHard really played well, and they stepped up on another level from something we would expect from a Silver League team.
Okay, so our first match of the day is going to be Mines. Let's have a look at the tank lineups that we're going to have here available to each team. Now, Mojo.
Well, GoHard in attack, playing with an RT. Well, we know who will do that. Mr. Diplo is kind of an expert, and he will definitely make the life of Knekkebrod hard. We've seen him win solo last game on Mines like that. On the other hand, Knekkebrod having an E50 in their lineup, quite interesting. Also, both of these teams have one notorious fact about them. Both have 100% victory ratio in defense.
Okay, so
let's see, is Knekkebrod that good then?
It's going to be interesting to see just how Nacrobroad plan to use this E50. It's not a tank that we plan to see, normally see here on Mines, or just generally in general. The E50M, the tier 10, some people don't like to use it because they feel it's weak, but we'll jump into the game here on Mines, Nacrobroad against GoHard, and see exactly how Nacrobroad plan to use this.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
So, do Nacrobroad have some kind of sneaky plan in their pocket, Mojo, or are we going to see something fairly standard with them on defense here?
Well, it doesn't have to always be something sneaky so you can win a match, you know. It doesn't work like that every time. Go hard playing with Artie, they will not play too offensive, we already know that, but they will try to gain some superficial map control left and right. On the other hand, Knekkebrod, it looks like they're gonna throw everything they have to the middle immediately.
So a very defensive setup actually from Gohard here. They have something going on at A4, A5. 3 tanks going up into middle. Carry, Barry and Daniak sitting up there. Raven and Luchbar have already taken up advanced positions. Raven's getting spotted out there by Kaizu. Luchbar's taking shots into Danny. Danny's getting himself caught out there. That's not great start
There is
from
RT
him.
connection there. And plus connections from Kaizu.
Oh, massive hits coming in there. Raven gets hit for 918 there as Leechbar backs off. It was actually Leechbar that took the hit there, not Raven. So Leechbar's getting hit twice, multiple times. He's lost his viewing device, doesn't have the vision for his team.
I think Kaizu was clipping from the island as far as I saw, and Diplomat also connected. But look at this. Failware is kind of behind them. I cannot say really is that the best move they could do.
That's a very, very strange position to be going to. Also, look at where Suxika
Oh!
is. Suxika's sitting up there on top of the hill. It looks like Gohard have got some sneaky tactics here up on top of the area of the back of the map.
It looks like a freebie given to Gohard. We've already seen teams that are playing like defensive start and they would do overwhelming damage only and only if people who are controlling the middle overcommit. And this is exactly what KB did. Look at this melting.
Danny takes out Bratty as Leechbar in turn takes out Danny. Oh, we just had Caribari jumping down there, but Raven gets a shot on him. Nakamura taking some damage back into Gohard, but Gohard with all the advantage here. The only tank who's taking damage now is Kaiju, and he's been able to just rush through the middle of them as Hellfish is now taken out for Nakamura. All we have left is Zanlon, Leechbar and Raven. Nakamura kind of getting outplayed here by Gohard. A very interesting defensive setup there. Suxika still sitting up there on that hill, being able to just fire out damage. Leechbar trying to do what he can as Tyne takes out Raven.
Leechbar was like, die clicker, die! I will lose the game, but you will die!
And there we have Tyne killing out Leechbar. All we have left is Zanelon. Wow, very strong start here from Gohard, kind of stamping their authority down as mines to be their territory and their map.
I really can't even say it's a strong start from the Gohard. They just played their game and KB kind of suicided more or less. That was a really risky move by Failware and it definitely didn't pay off. We could see that. You don't need to be expert to judge on that one.
A bit of an overextension here. Whatever tactic they had with the E50 hasn't quite worked for Nakabrod, as this is 1-0 to Gohard. Starting out strong, I would say, Mojo, and I think they're not going to take their foot off the throttle here.
Well, we already know that when someone plays with RT in attack, they will not really commit too much. So fairly, it was easy for Knekkebrod to just take over the middle. Well, that was fine.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with there. Failware flanking from the side to maybe intercept anyone climbing from the Gohard side there, so he doesn't get control there. Also fine. Why he just then suicide? Like, if you were not spotted, you cannot expect everyone to just be on island.
Yeah.
I guess it was because damage came to Leechbear, who probably positioned bad, but it was only one guy shooting him.
Yeah. Did you notice, though, where Suxika was? Did you see where he was at the back of the map?
He was covering the middle also.
That's an area I've not normally seen a tank before. It was
No. It's a really standard position when you are trying to cover middle. But usually when you have a tank there, you don't put tanks where other guys were.
Okay.
On the classic A4, A5 and those positions. So you usually don't have tanks there, and then you use that position so he can snipe and he has a cooldown and he's pretty safe. But Gohard made a really defensive setup there with a lot of crossfires, so they were playing around Diplo.
Okay.
Diplo was center of their attention, and it was really interesting moment when they managed to push through and actually kill him. Lose the game, but kill him.
Well, let's have a look and see actually just how much damage Diplo was able to do with his artillery there. Was this a carry game? Like, wow, he still comes in third on his team.
Unreal.
Annihilator top, and this is fantastic for me because I brought Annihilator into my fantasy team. You'll hear me talk a lot about my fantasy team, guys, because I also like to be able to just showcase just how good some of these players are. So, amazing play there from Annihilator coming top damage. He was sitting up beside his artillery, getting all the shots into the middle. Leechbar still be able to do great for his team in second place.
And he was
Diplomat.
also the first guy to take serious damage.
He was the one, but I mean, out of 7 top damage dealers there, I mean, 8th there, then you have Danny Zek. So, Gohard doing a monster amount of damage there, and in return, Nakabroad not really there at all, being able to get the guns back. Hellfish, 0 damage there
Wow,
on
I sold
MX50B.
Hellfish last week. I think I made a good move looking this.
I don't know what you said to him, but I mean, an AMX50B getting 0 damage is really obviously not good. It's there as a damage dealer.
It was really a lot of missed positions from Knekkebrod, and we already seen that. But I'm really shocked actually that Diplomat managed to pull through in 3 shots that much damage. I'm actually shocked that he managed to hit 3 shots in that little amount of time he had.
The man is an absolute monster. So now we switch the teams round. The other
You're gonna
team
curse
attacks,
him like this, you know?
other team defends. Let's have a look at the lineups and see how they're going to line up this time, see if there's any other surprises. So I don't see anything jump out at me immediately, Mojo. Can you see anything?
No, this is a really standard setup, just a lot of clippers on go hard side, and they gave up on any art in defense. So that's kind of interesting from them. But last time in defense, they used like TVP and E5 instead of those 1-1-3s. So that's about that. They also had an Artian grill. So quite different and more brawl-like setup, I would say, from them.
And from these setups, does it look like Nakabroad have a tactic in mind for a base, or does it look like they're just looking for a brawl?
This kind of setup is really standard, but 2 T10s can be used also to cap on a lower cap. And honestly, looking go hard now, maybe that would be even the best game for them. It's only the question, will go hard press on that side, on island side, with those budgets.
Okay, well, let's jump into battle number 2 on Mines and see if Gohard can make it 2-0, or can Nakabroad take it back and make it 1-1. They have it all to play for right now. I wonder how it's going to go.
Well, let's remember, both of these teams before this game had 100% in defense. Knekkebrod doesn't have it anymore. Maybe Go Hard will, maybe not, we'll see. But only one tank going to island, it's Crux, so that's pretty similar opening as Go Hard had. Everyone else going for the middle. Oh, look at this move by Gohard. This is really risky.
Hugely
Ultra
strong
risky.
move. And they get spotted out by Crux, who doesn't get spotted out in counter. He's going to turn and run before he gets spotted. Diplomat, we have Kaizu, and we have Suksika coming up here on the flank, rushing down there. They're lit completely. Nakabroad know exactly where they are, and now they're going to overextend and get themselves caught out as Time's down below them.
Crux, smart one, like running away. And Diplomat getting wrecked here. This is like a one step too far, and you can see the damage he took.
Gohard overextending a bit now as Failware's able to get shots in between him. He's getting shots down into Danizek there in the middle. We have Karibari and
Annihilator and Karibari now, exactly.
Trying to swing round on the stop. We want to see the kind of shots they have as Annihilator takes out Luchbar. So fantastic flanking here from Gohard. They're able to quickly wrap round and get shots down, just as Raven now takes out Danizek. So 1-1 each team right now. Gohard trying to get shots on, trying to just
Crux
get a
is
bit
under
more
pressure now.
Positioning. Kaiju's going to go down onto Crux here. He needs to get these shots in. It's going to be an exchange for him. Crux looks like he misses a shot, so Kaiju has the advantage here, but there's crossfire coming in as well. Suksika manages to get the shot onto Crux. Failware here jumping onto Annihilator. Karibari's having to run off. He's in a reload. Failware's going to get his shots into Annihilator. Has he had one more to be able to kill him?
What a messy game, and it's all over the battlefield. It's still not lost for Gohard, but it doesn't look good at the moment because all the upper positions are held by Knekkebrod, and there is no artillery to dig them out.
Diplomat, the hero of the previous match, and as you said, I have jinxed him as he's now getting absolutely wrecked in this battle with barely doing any damage. Tyne here doing what he can. Failware looking to get shots on Karibari. Karibari's not reloaded, but Zanlon's going to come in behind him. Karibari needs to take out Failware quickly and try and get shots. But it's not looking that way. It looks like Karibari's going to get himself deleted. The Zanlon actually protects his teammates and blocks the shot. So Karibari still gets the shots off, but Zanlon's going to finish him. Zanlon didn't take any damage himself. Good shot discipline from Karibari, but the damage is done. Gohard are now quite an HP disadvantage down to Nakabroad. 2,000 health here.
We are still in a 3 versus 3 game, but every possible advantage is on Knekkebrod side. They hold the hill. They can do whatever they want rotation-wise. Diplomat from the start of the game on that miserable HP, pretty much useless with half of the dead things in his tank. And Suksika, a tier 9 budget, not a tier 10 one.
Suksika coming up here to support Tyne as Tyne was trying to get a shot off there. Tyne gets himself spotted. Cap being started by Zanlon over at base number 1. Gohard not really in a position to be able to challenge this at all as Tyne takes a shot from Bratty there.
Tuna
gets
getting
a shot
beat
back
up
and
here.
He's getting wrecked here in the middle in a crossfire. Suksika coming in to do what he can to try and get shots into Raven, but he misses. Raven's still on full HP. This entire exchange as he's been able to get shots everywhere into him. Sixika now drops. Bratty's able to kill him. Bratty is on a reload, time doing what he can, but again he's caught in a crossfire, and those shots are brutal. So, Nakabrod in
Diplomat
command of
managing
this
to
one.
sneak some damage in there.
Diplomat getting the shot, but in return, Raven gets the shot back on him. Nakabrod with 2 tanks left at the end of that battle, but that was far from a convincing one, wasn't it?
No, but still it was overwhelming victory for Knekkebrud. Honestly, it was really brave play by Gohard, but it just didn't pay off. It was ultra risky because the main of their plan was those 3 Butchots chasing away Island, and then 1-1-3s would push through the water and go behind. And then you would have also 2 Butchots from here. So they're just giving up their base in a hill, trying to catch tanks on the flank. But Diplomat overextended for like a track.
Yeah.
And he got shot from the side. Also, critical part in their defeat was Crooks seeing them on time and surviving without taking a shot. And then he emptied the tile clip in one of the 1-1-3s. That's why he actually died after that so easily.
That's very telling. Crux was able to spot those 3 tanks from Gohard and not get counter-spotted himself. So
Yeah, he ran away clean, completely.
Raven was one of the guys left at the end of the battle there with lots of HP. Let's see if he was one of the top damage dealers, because I think he had a really good position from where he was to get shots in. Bam, called it. Raven top damage there for his team. So exceptional play. He was basically king of the hill on his own in the middle there, able to get shots at
Snipe.
multiple tanks available to him. 14 shots, 3 kills, 3,215 damage.
Wow, Diplo almost, although he kind of costed his team a lot in this game, he still managed to sneak some damage in.
Still gets on page number 1 for his team with damage there. Top of the damage for Gohard is Carry Barry, doing what he can to carry, but not really able to survive there. Poor Leech Bar in the T10 was getting absolutely
Danny got
pummeled
wrecked
again at
by
the start.
Crooks, I think. When he was driving through the water, I think Crooks just shot him in the back.
Yep. And Danny, Shuxika was left, he was actually one of the last standing there for Gohard, but he wasn't able to get his gun to bear. He wasn't able to get focused on the target, so...
Also, Leechberg, he got pretty much wrecked from the Butchot from the back, and Nile and whoever was with him failed.
Yeah, when the counter push came round the top, yeah. So, unlucky for Gohard. You're saying we came into this match, both teams had 100% defense. Both teams lose their defensive games and win on the
most
offense.
defensive map in the game.
Yeah.
It was due to their play. They played both really aggressive and they gambled a lot and they lost. Or with more conventional play, it would be much easier for both, honestly.
Okay, so our next map that we're going to be going to is going to be Cliff. Let's have a look at the lineups here. Obviously, we're going to see lots of bat chats. It's Cliff, that's what you always get as bat chats. But there is some subtle differences in the teams.
Well, honestly, for one, okay, we can obviously see Gohard has an artillery in defense, but also Gohard didn't play a single game on Cliff yet. Not a single one.
Interesting, okay.
Knekkebrud on other side did quite a bit.
So is this a pocket pick for Gohard, or do you think they've been forced into it? Or are they holding off because they have maybe some kind of special tactic?
Well, artillery can be used on this map very well, especially since they have like 6 mediums here. M40 RT can more or less one-shoot any of the Butchots if it depends, or cripple them by damage. So it's all about how will Knekkebrud react to this.
Okay, so let's see who's going to be going 2-1 up here on Cliff, as we have Nakabrod on the attack and Gohard on the defense. Okay, so do you think it's just going to be a fairly standard fight in the middle, Mojo?
No.
Or do
No.
you think we might get the fight
No,
on
no,
the west side?
Gohard will take defensive positions. Now we've seen teams like Rage Quit try to play with RT, but what they did wrong is they split all over the place.
Okay.
Gohard has 6 tier 10 medium tanks clippers. They need to make kind of a crossfire but be close enough to each other. So if Knekkebrud pushes with 7 tanks somewhere, they can actually resist them by damage purely, not even counting on RT. Diplomat's position is fairly strange here. He's behind a little hill there, but I'm not sure how safe he is.
This could be dangerous for Carry Barry in time, couldn't it? They could be caught out by the wraparound coming round here.
Well, they can fall down, but that also is not necessarily the best. Also, they are kind of down there, so they're just providing spots for artillery and kind of cross angles if someone tries to climb the hill normal way. But if someone is doing this like failware from a backside, they cannot even see him.
So it looks like Danny's X going to be the one to try and climb the hill. He has to be careful of the
No, no,
crossfire.
no, no, no. From there, no one climbs. Never. Except in random games. There, you just spot.
Okay, I stand corrected, Mojo. So we have Failware going around the back way up onto the hill, as Suksika is going up the back way on the hill here. Danny's just trying to bait out somebody below him, but obviously you have Hellfish there waiting to cover fire. Lichbar gets himself spotted on the other flank, probably.
Ooh, that's a one shot!
Whoa! Diplomat! Pulling it out the bag and showing Knackerbrod this is not a guy to give any kind of leeways to. He is going to punish you when he's in artillery,
He
and
just
that is why.
disappeared from the map. I don't know even where he was.
Eliminated. He was at E1. I was just saying he just got spotted. I was about to say I think it was Kaiju that spotted him, and bam, he's gone. So. Failware and Suksika here on the top of the map being spotted out there. Failware has the advantage on the hill, but it looks like he's going to give up some space to Suksika as he can push up perhaps.
Man, this looks like in old times when Eclipse was playing Arty for Navi. He was the best player ever I've seen, and Diplo is really doing it hard for Gohar here.
So already he's going to have high damage straight away. So Raven's getting himself spotted out there by Danny's. He's getting shots across from the hill. Gohard have to be a bit careful here because there's a rotation came from Knackerbrod, so they're stacking up around on the hill. They only have Hellfish and Raven left over around on the west side of the map.
Can you imagine the team speak of Knackerbrod now? What happened? Yeah, Diplomat happened, yeah.
yeah, Diplomat. Yeah, well, okay.
Arty strike.
Yeah, it's like on an arty strike, yeah. So Knackerbrod taking up a strong position here on the hill, but I'm pretty sure they're all terrified of being spotted right now from the orbital strike cannon of Diplomat, just looking for his next target.
It's not only that, the positions from the Gohard are good. They have a good crossfire, so Suksika, yeah, they can press him, but if they do it from the top, he will be covered by guys like Nile, and there is no one even close enough, 3 squares away, so he can spot
Nile.
Nile.
Try and rush him, but can he pull back so his team can give him a covering fire? Nile misses with the first shot, gets another shot, and Suksika might actually go down here. Zalon's going to get shots into him. He's trading with them. Nile not getting any shots connected there. There's only 2 damaging shots come in as Raven and the RU-251's able to get a shot back on.
I think Raven got shot by Kaizu from that B1 position. And there is rotation immediately coming in.
Strong rotation coming in here from Gohard as they're going to sweep round onto Hellfish. The tanks that were up on the hill, Knackerbrod have just exchanged a lot of shots. Hellfish is caught wide open here.
Raven didn't even see them coming.
Pretty much caught with his pants down by the autoloaders as they come around to get shots on him. Although the crossfire comes back in from the hill, Tyne is getting caught out in the crossfire. Danny manages to kill Hellfish, but at what cost? As Tyne was getting shot in the back there by Raven as the tanks on the top of the hill were able to get shots down.
You don't have to be a prophet to see who's going to fall next. Look at the Raven. Bye.
Oh, Kaiju is able to take him out there as well. So we have Zanlon up on top here with Bratty and... Who else was the other one with him? Bratty and Zanlon, is it?
Bratty,
Zanlon,
Zane and Failware are holding
okay.
the hill and Crooks is down.
Crooks is down below. I'm guessing all 3 of them are just hoping that they don't get spotted.
Well, it's a big problem for them now. They're losing HP-wise, they're losing position-wise. Yeah, they hold that hill, but they can do nothing with it because Danny is proxy spotting them if they move left or right. And Nile and Arty are covering him together with the other guys. Kaizu and the other boys can just freely rotate left and right.
Yeah. So right now we have all of Knackerbrod on the hill, which is normally a strong place, but Knackerbrod are on the attack. They're not on the defense. So Gohard can just sit there and go, okay, right now you need to kill us all, or you need to come into one of these cap circles.
Crooks is dealing a bit here with Danny. Shell for shell, Danny cannot sustain it. So there should be some kind of rotation coming in from the Gohard very soon.
Are we going to see a shot coming in from Diplomat here? Does he have the angle?
No, there is a rock in his way.
That's right, he's using it to block him. Okay, so, as I was just saying, Gohard on the defensive here, Knackerbrod on the attack. Knackerbrod need to kill everyone, or they need to push into cap circle 2 or 1. Both cap circles covered very strongly right now by Gohard. They have the map coverage, they have the map advantage. Knackerbrod still have a lot of health right now, but it is not looking good for them to actually try and use that health to win out the battle. They really need to get a pick on someone.
Got a cheap shot now, Failware took needless damage here, and Kaizo, after that firing those 1 or 2 shots, he immediately puts a reload. He knows he's spotted and he cannot peek anymore like that. Arty misses a shell here.
That was so close. Diplomat trying to hope that he was just sitting on the corner, which as he wasn't. Zan takes a small bit of damage there as he drops back off the hill. Wonder if the rest of the team's going to be coming with him as Crux starts to rotate round the very, very long way as you have Tyne on the far side there able to give them additional fire support. Tyne, Tinny, that's going to be one for a long time. Apparently in Finnish it means tuna, so we can just go with tuna as well. We could just call him.
Tuna fish.
Tuna fish. Tuna fish and hellfish. Why not?
Wow. Full of fishes there. So we have Ural fish in Kazna, and we have here tuna fish
Tuna
and
fish
shellfish. Fishy fishes.
So, as we can just, as we're calling it there, Fairwear, Bratty, Zan and Crux coming in to rotate the bottom. Caribari just giving himself a bit of additional coverage there. Doesn't actually spot anyone though, so...
It's still not over, but the time is so short. And I honestly haven't seen anyone cap Cliff in ages. So this season, no one, for sure. So Tuna is here spotting the rotation. He already saw them coming, and he is covered by Caribari there. So he's fairly safe.
So two of the tanks now from Knackerbroad are spotted
And he's
out.
running away before the rotation comes in. This is really well played. And I don't think anyone... Failware waiting there like a spider
Sneaky.
on a cliff. And Bratty is
Sneaky.
taking over on Danny there. There we go, another one.
Okay, so Knackerbroad actually getting the picks we need to, but Caribari and Kaizu here are going to get shots onto Crux. Looks like they're trying to focus onto Crux. They're going to turn their guns now onto Zan, who's below them. They have... Oh, Kaizu has to be careful. He doesn't have the HP to be able to trade. He might actually take shots for Caribari. Kaizu goes down as well. Caribari now is against Zan and Crux. Caribari needs to get a kill here on Crux.
This is really not good. Carry actually has to take them out both, not just one, because Failware is coming in. Crux is out of the shells. That's really lucky for Carry. And he's the last set and he manages. Hard carry by Berry.
Caribari puts on the Caribari pants and he's starting to carry the game here. For a while it was going against Gohard, but they swung it back there. Good trade of HP there with their teammate Caribari having all his shells, so he was able to take out the two remaining Knackerbroad tanks. The advantage now back with Gohard.
2 minutes and counting. Nile can effectively kill both of these butshots alone easily because of his high DPM and fast reload time. He doesn't need reload, he needs 3 shells in reality.
So what are Knackerbroad going to do? We have Bratty and Failware trying to rotate round the back. They want to maybe move into base 2 here because they know that everyone on Gohard is down at base 1. Diplomat, as you can see from his gun angle, is already aiming towards base 2.
He's playing his tank destroyers at the moment. He's not aiming.
He's saying, go for it, guys. Come on, step into my gun sights.
I want to see a tank destroyer shot by him.
Does he have itchy trigger figure? Is he going to...
Oh,
he's
he's throwing,
spotted.
he's throwing.
Is he going to get his shot? He's waiting for it.
No, he's out of his aim.
No,
He's out
no.
of his aim. He's out of his aim. He's safe.
Okay.
There we go. He's re-aiming.
Okay, patience. Hold. Hold. Will he get him as he peeks over the corner? Is Failware going to actually try for a back boost?
So he broke a bush here, a tree, so he would be a lesser target, so he doesn't get spotted when he peeks.
Actually, here's what they're doing. They're doing similar to what happened at the Navi final, but it was just
When
Failware on his
Inspirer
own.
peeked?
Failware's trying to peek so that Bratty can get the shot, but
Yeah, but there
Bratty's
is
really
60
far back.
seconds.
Yeah, they're just running down the clock, and I think they just accepted that they're going to lose it, and they're perhaps just talking amongst themselves. Or they might still have a plan here. Failware's going up to try and get a shot onto Diplomat. Doesn't say... Oh! Diplomat, take a bow, son. What a fantastic shot. The second he was spotted, he was gone. Diplomat knew where he was going to peek, was pre-aimed there, and absolutely wrecked him. In return, Bratty's able to get a shot into Diplomat, but it doesn't matter right now. That was an outstanding shot from an artillery, knowing exactly what was about to happen. And here we have Niall finishing off Bratty, and that's 2-1 to Gohard here on Cliff.
The
Diplomat.
diplomat brings another meaning to artillery in this format, like for sure. It's kind
brutal.
of different when you pick someone in arty and him.
Yeah,
They might have actually lost this game because the game started, boom, -1
that?
tier 10.
Guys, I'm here, you know? It's just like coming into a party and just kicking the door open. You're like, whoa, Diplomat's here, boys.
Unreal, unreal, unreal. Like again, and this tank destroyer strike, that was totally cool.
That was a brilliant play. Again, just like last week, in the fantasy team. Pow!
You are
Bringing it home for me.
totally lucky.
Niall as well is in the fantasy team. I'm pretty sure he got an absolute crap ton of damage in that game. I can't wait to see the damage statistics to
I'm
see
totally
if that
envious.
was true or not.
Don't talk about fantasy anymore.
See if I can leapfrog above. I mean, the challenge is to beat Daki right now, so...
Yeah, it's no
let's-
challenge to beat me. Half of my team is AFK.
Let's have a look at the damage done in that battle and see who was on top. Zanlon actually for Nakabrod, and then Annihilator, then Diplomat.
Well, Diplomat 2 games in RT, average 2.5k damage in both, I think. Like, come on.
That has got to be scary to play off against that, to see, okay, guys, we know Gohard's going to... Oh no, they've taken artillery. Oh no, that means Diplomat. Diplomat is going to be giving people nightmares right now. He is playing exceptional for Gohard, and so is Annihilator. Annihilator, he's sometimes found in artillery as well. He was on artillery in Mines on defense when Diplomat was in the tank destroyer. So Annihilator's doing consistent damage as well for Gohard. So those two guys are definitely MVPs of the team right now. Definitely, they are carrying their team. They're doing fantastic damage.
Well, Nile had a really bad start of the season, but he learned on his mistakes, so he's doing much better now. But Diplo, from game to game, he's just persistent. And it was really, if you remember, closest match was only with Legend. They lost that in that tiebreaker quite close.
Yeah. So
I bet like Ding is really happy to lose him, like after watching these games. Totally.
It's like, why
Who
did
needs
we-
Diplomat? Yeah, who needs
why?
Diplomat? Yeah.
Why? But Ding are doing really well without him. Ding,
Yeah.
imagine Ding with him.
Too much.
Be scary.
Too
really
much.
scary. Really
Too
scary.
much. Too much.
So, how can Nakabrod get back into this right now? That was a long, drawn-out match. It nearly went right to the end of the
And if you-
timers.
They're now defending. Cliff is not really pro defender side unless you one-shoot someone with RT. So unless the next game starts again like that, they have fair chance. I mean, even this one was fairly close, though they played with one guy less all the time.
The advantage was with Gohard for a long time, and then you had that exchange with Carry Barry, Crux, and two other guys.
That was a good exchange, but Kerry really played it out well.
Yeah.
Like at the end, he made every shell count. He didn't miss. If he missed a single one, that might have been a match.
Okay, so the teams are switching position now. The other team's attacking, other team's defending. Let's have a look at the tank lineups and see which vehicles we're going to be using this round. Lots of bat chats as expected, but oh! There's a little sneaky pick from Nakabrod.
Scorpion. Okay, this is a new premium vehicle. That's why we still don't have a picture there, guys. It's tier 8. It's more or less like a Rheinmetall Borsig with a gun. More mobile, but bigger, so no camo value. It kind of has a turret.
Okay.
I'm really interested how will it fare here. I mean, I can imagine several positions you can use it on 1-2 line or even behind. I don't know, is it fast enough to climb somewhere? I don't think so, but let's see.
I was asking Daki about this, and apparently Daki was saying it is fast enough to get up to those areas over the Waffle, so that's why it's been chosen. He reckons it's
The
potentially
Waffle
going to go to
cannot
that
climb
area.
anywhere. He's like
Yeah.
just slow.
So he said it's going to go on the left-hand side of the map, basically. So, well, the east, in the middle, I guess, actually, the middle area. Gohard, very standard lineup, all bat chats. And then also a 50B in there.
Gohard playing more or less almost the same lineup as Knekebru did in attack. Just Knekebru had a light and they have 2 tier 9 budgets.
Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see just exactly where this Scorpion is going to sit on the map and how it's used.
Well, no
Let's-
artillery at least.
No artillery at least, yes. So let's jump into battle number 2 on Cliff as Gohard lead Nakabrod to 2-1. So I'm expecting the Scorpion to go just to A5. That's basically where Daki's saying it was going to go to. It can make
Well,
that
we will
jump
see.
apparently. Or it
I
can,
would, I would like to see the way he would climb, if he can perform that. But other guys will just do standard things and just go for the middle, I guess. Brat is lingering in a base, so he's not even doing any kind of active spotting. He's just spotting if someone rotates the base.
So there we go. Hellfish coming round. Is he actually going to do that boost up and round the corner? As he said, it's possible.
Well, he's definitely going for that one. See, the first one he did. That's fairly easy. Let's see. Yes, he's doing it.
And we have Karibari here and Kaizu climbing up the back of the hill. Raven's counter-spotting on the other side, so he's going to see perhaps try and get vision on them. As Zan and somebody else right below him, Zan's name is covering him, so we can't actually see who it
Ooh,
is.
Kaizu fell down.
Oh, Kaizu, he's the mountain goat. He normally never falls down.
Oh, Karibari
no,
also!
Karibari also!
Double fail.
Is that because, like, oh, buddy, like, I feel sorry for you, I'll just come down as well? Or were they trying to rotate? We'll just pretend it was part of the plan.
Bro power.
Oh, I thought Zan was actually falling down there as well. I thought everyone was just tumbling off the hill. Failware claims the hill, Zan coming up behind him. They're going up to an undefended hill as Gohard quickly swing round again and try and get back up there.
A kind of Hellfish position is a giveaway because I don't think Go Hard would have any harder problem to guess that than we did. And let's see, Kaizu strike 2.
Kaizo, so careful, so nervous. Now he's not sure where he goes. And
Oh!
no! He slid off again. Caribai's going to be like, dude, I'm just going to show you how to do it. Look, it's up here. It's up here, mate. That's how you do it. Oh, Kaizu. Dude, you're meant to be the one that's meant to climb up here
Oh man,
all the
come
time.
on,
Get easy
break
up.
a couple of more trees just to announce yourself.
Now, Failware's on a reload there, so it looks like he fired out a couple of blind shots and is quickly reloading. Annihilator's also reloading, so perhaps he's been blind shooting as well. Perhaps aiming up into where they expect Hellfish to be in the Scorpion.
Well, this
Interesting,
is
I
a
want to-
normal thing. Danny is covering them while they're climbing, Kerry and Kaizu. And we have multiple crossfire coming there from Go Hard if someone peeks. But since they still didn't put enough tanks up on a hill, they cannot really do anything about it. Also, I don't think 2 tanks will be enough to do anything.
So Raven now reloading. He fired off, I think, 2 shots. Can Kaizu do it?
Strike
oh,
3.
laddie,
No.
come on, laddie. 3 times in a row. He was the one that made the fail on mines.
It was not his fault. It was a guy pushing him.
Oh,
actually
that was
there.
it was Carrie Barry not carrying him very well there when he made that push. But it was Carrie Barry who just got up here, no problem. So Kaizu really not living up to his Mountain Goat nickname, where he's normally the guy to climb up anywhere and everywhere for his team.
Well, Go Hard at the moment starting the game after 3 minutes.
They've rotated
And
swapped somebody
reinforcements
else.
are here. Saxika, you do it.
Saxika. Just like, dude, I'm out. Somebody else do it. I'm not going to do it a 4th time. They'll be watching me with the camera. I can't handle the pressure. Now all the pressure is on Saxika as he goes up to try it.
Come on, wiggle the desk.
Yay! There we do. Oh, poor Kaizu. Poor Kaizu.
Whoa, Hellfish even took a blind shot. A 2-1.
Oh, 2 shots coming in. He's not spotted, so they won't know if he's been connected
No,
there.
they just shot that bush, mate.
Yeah,
I told you,
they-
it's so default position that
Yeah.
you really don't have to be that imaginative. But Danny's getting wrecked.
Danny's getting wrecked. Is he on the bottom of the hill? No, he's round the corner. Okay, so he's perhaps over-peaked there as Failware and Zan were the ones trading shots from Zan on the reload now. Failware spotted.
Well, the only thing is Go Hard actually has no clue that they already connected Hellfish 2 times and that he's on 1 shot.
Saxika up here on top. He's fired off 1 shot. Zan's reloading. Carrie Barry's on a reload as well, so it looks like he was the one getting shots across into Hellfish, perhaps. Failware now unspotted. Have to be very careful, Go Hard, that they don't stick their head too far over the lip of that hill, because there's so many different Knackerbroad guns aimed up on them. So Danny dangerously actually has a damaged engine, so that's going to affect his speed. Now we have a rotation coming in here down the east side, the west side of the map, as we have 2
should
tanks
just go back
rotating
on them,
long. They're going
but-
to jump onto the AMX 50B right here. We're actually missing the exchange here. Bratty is getting shots coming in. Annihilator's coming down. So Annihilator's been jumped on. So it's Bratty and Crux getting a jump on Annihilator. Now Annihilator's dropped. Bratty took a lot of damage from that, but Annihilator was caught on his own with no support from his team. Very strong move and good rotation from Knackerbroad.
They took Nile there by quite a good call. I don't know why was he so badly covered by the rest of the Go Hard. It looks like that failed climbing on a hill kind of threw them off. And this is more of like sporadic fight by Go Hard, while Knackerbroad is doing minimal rotations just to chip in all the advantages they've been given so far.
Yeah, Go Hard don't have the position that they want right now. They're on the attack. They need to have some kind of map dominance to be able to do that. Whereas right now, Knackerbroad and Go Hard pretty much have the map split 50-50. So Go Hard not able to get good vision of where the Knackerbroad vehicles are. Shots getting exchanged non-stop across the top of the hill. Pretty sure Go Hard think themselves, man, what I would give for an artillery right now just to help clear out the top of this hill as all the tanks are sitting there. Diplomat coming across here to get cross shots into Zan. 2 good shots getting into him. Can he get a 3rd one? Doesn't look like it's possible. He's having to back off, and he's very cautious that he doesn't get rotated around the bottom, as the exact same thing had just happened to Annihilator down in that area. So Diplomat's backing off a little bit, worried that Crux and Bratty might come round and get him, as Crux is rotating round to try and get spots on him.
They're still pretty similar on HP, but the problem is for Go Hard, one, of course, they're attacking. And the second one, lack of one gun. That's always what we say. Gun in a game is a big difference. So Knackerbrood has here more options available because they really don't care. Will Hellfish live or die? He's on one shot, he's tier 8, and every damage he does will just be a bonus for them. What they need to pay attention is Brati to stay alive. Brati, who is on low HP, and that's why he's just doing a back support for the other guys. He's not really in the fight. And this is a big deal.
Great shot, great crossfire from Caribari there on Zanlon. As Zanlon backed off and was getting forced forward by Diplomat. Diplomat has to be very careful. Crux wants to come around and get him. Tyne's trying to come around the bottom to get the counter onto Crux. Diplomat, how many? I can't see how many shells he's got actually in his tank, so he might be on a reload right now. As Crux looks like he's jumping on him. Tyne's coming around. He might get round in time. He might not. Diplomat getting shot in the rear. He's on a reload. Tyne is not coming around quick enough. Diplomat's going to drop here unless Crossfire comes in, and there is the Crossfire coming to Crux. More shots need to come in. Crux kills Diplomat, but at what cost? He's going to go down himself.
Oh,
Not
he managed
sure.
to chafe off Danny. Oh, there is a big fight on the hill now because they know that Caribari and Sutsika are on the reload. That's the main issue here.
Blue line's coming in everywhere above Raven as everyone's trying to get shots onto them. Kaizu is taking shots as well. Suksika coming in at the back of him. Danny's X trying to get as many shots in as he can as well. Caribari now facing off against Failware. Caribari's on a reload. Failware doesn't know that. There's always the danger of Hellfish getting shots in as well.
And Failware has a dead Amorek. After these 3 shots, even if he survives, he's out of the game completely.
But look at the damage that Danizek is taking. He has a damaged gun, he has a damaged engine, he has a damaged fuel tank.
But he's still alive. Never mind that. Never mind that. Suksika is taking a really brave play. They want to take care of Failware there. And they want to dig out the other guys.
Caribari wants to get shots down onto Failware, but Caribari's at risk of getting shot by the Scorpion as well. Gun discipline from Gohard. Can they focus their targets? On the reloads, this is not actually going their way.
Oh, it's actually going brilliantly their way.
The reloads are coming off on Gohard's favour.
This is a really good play by Gohard now, finally.
The mountain. Gohard have turned this match around after a ropey start. They're now in a dominating position. Hellfish left at the back here. They know exactly where he is.
And they know Brati is on really low HP, so he is not the big factor in this game at the moment. Now they can even apply the pressure on Cap. Hellfish is not the one to spot it.
So from what looked like a bad fight going against Gohard, their gun discipline and their target discipline has came strongly in their favour. And
Kaizu has the most HP.
Switch this one around.
Maybe he just didn't want to go uphill.
Oh!
Up. But that shooting on a hill when Caribari and Suksika went out and double tapped the first guy,
Yeah.
Xane, that was really great and brilliant, and they managed to do 2 more to Failware while he was trying to run away.
Hellfish.
So that's the moment which broke the game. The team play by those 2 guys and those couple of shots literally just broke the game in their advantage.
Hellfish doing what he can to get shots off here, but Suksika underneath him is going to get a shot into him, and he's going to finish him off. So unlucky there from Knackerbrod.
I don't think it's about luck. Knackerbrod had all kind of advantages. Gohard failed to climb, left Annihilator to die, and still, after all those disadvantages, they managed to gather their forces, to react well. Even you saw a rotation when Danny was chased, when he was in reload. Crux knew he was in reload.
Yep.
You saw how he hung on that hill, how he really tried to just lure him so other guys can shoot him and kill him.
Yeah.
He was doing desperately everything. It was really great play by the guys. I really like it.
Yeah, so lots of failed boosts again. Well, not boosts, but hill climbs. That's not what you'd expect from Kaizu there, would you?
I wouldn't expect it from the most of the guys in the Pro League, but as we said already, this is a high-pressure situation. In trainings, he might do them 10 of 10, easy, and then this is live. This is what happens. So over the time, they will all toughen, and it will happen. But we've seen even the best, like Applebow, in those most crucial moments, the guy who was carrying his team all the way, just lost it because of that.
Change in a second. So let's have a look at the damage and see. I'm pretty sure, sadly, Annihilator is going to be quite low in this, and will be Danny, but...
Suksika and Caribari, and well deserved in the top of Gohard damage dealers. Well deserved. Like, they really played well entire game now.
Actually, I was just saying that about Annihilator, and he still stays on the first page there with the 50B, so he was still doing a lot of damage, but a huge amount of blind fire. 24 shots.
Holy.
Imagine if he connected with them. He must have been blind firing from the very start.
From those, he connected only 4.
Wow. Oh, wow-wee. So was that blind fire, or was that bad shooting on targets on the hill? Was he probably aiming at very small...
My guess is he was shooting the guys on the hill, and then probably he did 1 or 2 shots when he was pushed. I'm just not sure because in DC, was he on reload or not?
Danizek and Tyne there not really having good games. Leechbar as well in the back chat, only getting 2 shots in, only firing 4, so he was one of the first to fall there. Diplomat, we talk about him so many times in other matches. I guess maybe auto loaders are not his forte. Give him the big guns capable of doing huge damage and just let him go to town. Either give him a TD or give him artillery, and you're laughing then.
Well, honestly, Danny here lost a lot of HP in the start of the game by his own fault. He lost about 50%, and after that he was kind of a liability. But he managed to survive. Yeah, when he was monitoring the red line, he didn't cover himself well. So he took a couple of shots for nothing. But after that, he really did a good job, and he kept the enemy team proxy on a very risky and dangerous position, which requires a lot of discipline. So if he actually had all that HP there, it would be a much easier game, and he would probably be alive till the end.
So we have it now 3-1 to Go Hard.
Yeah, it's a big break when one team takes the map 2-0.
Yeah.
This is really bad for Knekkebrod now.
It's like a snowball going down a hill.
Now they can play easy because they only need 1-1 on each map, and it's already over.
Okay, so our next match is going to be Ghost Town. Any team have an advantage here, Mojo, for the lineups?
Well, Knekkebrod knows sometimes in attack to just push kind of blindly, and occasionally it worked for them really well until the guys actually realize what they do, so they are now waiting for them. I don't think Go Hard will allow that. It's just we need to see lineups first and make a judgment then.
So let's see the vehicle is going to be used for Ghost Town. Obviously, again, we don't see the player names beside them, but for each team, it looks like fairly standard lineups, doesn't it here, Mojo?
Well, let's say like this. On Ghost Town, the worst defense in the league is by Knekkebrod.
Oh.
Like, they have 17%. Even Legend, who is last on the scoreboard, has 40%.
Okay. But how many times have they played it compared to each other?
12 times they played that. So
wow.
a lot of losses in defense there. Compared to them, Go Hard is a bit better. They have like 33% in defense. So none of them are really brilliant in that.
But
so
how are they on attack?
Knekkebrod like 50 and Go Hard on 67. So a bit better there.
Okay.
Not the best map for Knekkebrod so far.
So let's jump into the action here on Ghost Town as Go Hard lead Knekkebrod 3-1. So we have here Knekkebrod on the attack with Go Hard on the defense. Go Hard will be eager to get a 4th win on the board here and put a bit of pressure on Knekkebrod. Mojo, do you think we're going to see cap tactics, or do you think we're going to see...
Last time we've seen Go Hard play this map, it was against the Legend, and it was in match day 3. That's quite a while ago, while Knekkebrod actually played it in both match day 5 and 6. So we really do not know did they change anything by now and so on. But so far, Dani and Suxika on tier 9 heavies, and the rest of the guys quite balanced setup in Clipper 50Bs. They're actually not using 57s.
So Caribari rushing out here trying to get some early spots. He might get himself wrecked by this group of autoloaders, but he's actually down the hill and away, so he doesn't get any vision for his team, but at the same time he doesn't get himself spotted as shots coming in here to take out some buildings, so they have some cross shots. They're just worried about perhaps... Oh, and Danny actually is the first one to take a hit here in WZ.
Yeah, he's just peeked out here a bit too much, but that's only 1 shot of damage. Tuna is already covering the field, so they have a cover on the 1 cap. They cannot get pressure there, though Knekkebrod has 2 1-1-3s. But look at this, Leech Bear and Xane and the rest of the guys. This is not going to go well for Go Hard.
Why would you push around there so much like that? Annihilator actually kills Bratty there in that exchange, but the sweep round here coming from Go Hard into the back of Knekkebrod, that was an interesting pincer movement. Go Hard still able to survive before their tanks. Annihilator's getting focused. Suxika's going to get spotted as the rest of Knekkebrod come round. Leechbar's going to get focused now as well. They want to finish it by killing tanks. Kaizu having to worry about the tank in front of him, but he's getting a crossfire from Bratty, which is not a good position for Kaizu. But wow, Tyne comes in to help him out there. So Kaizu's going to focus onto Bratty. Tyne's giving him additional fire support as well. Bratty's going to get dropped as Danny comes in the back as well. So great supporting play there from Go Hard. Knekkebrod, Suxika's taken out there by Zanlon. Leech Bar's getting caught out here in the crossfire. Annihilator's doing what he can. Crux is taken out there as well by Tyne. Tyne's coming round on the overlap onto Leech Bar. Leech Bar has his full clip, but Tyne has his full health. Carry Barry coming through as well there on the shot onto Tyne. All we have left is Zanlon up on his sniper's perch. Gohard have taken us to Nacrobrod's 5-1 mojo.
And they are almost all alive. Brilliant game by Gohard, great reads here, and they won this leg wars for sure by a mile. And we cannot say anything about advantage for any team because is any team had it bad, both teams had it bad.
It's important to say this lag that we're seeing right now on the screen is not something that's impacting the players. If it was, the match wouldn't be carrying on right now. This is something sadly that's only affecting the observer cam that we have here. Nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. But in game, it's not affecting the players. So right now, Gohard doing a double cap as they're just trying to finish off Zanlon. He's going to stay up there. He's in no hurry to rush down and give Gohard a quicker win. Make them work for it realistically, but this might be the first time actually we've ever seen a team...
is going to try to climb for him, it looks.
This might be, I was going to say, the first time we see a team win with a double cap, which is something we've never ever seen before.
You cannot win with double cap anyways.
Well, with two tanks in both caps is what I mean.
That's a big advantage for them, an easy finish.
Zan down to just one shot left, and he's taken out. Gohard win this match against Nacrobrod 5-1. Very strong play from Gohard there, Mojo. We talked earlier on about how they are a strong team tactically. Did you feel that that was how they won today?
Some of the games were kind of messy in the start, but they in-game read they have is brilliant. I really like it because even after doing some initial mistakes that can be even tactical or whatever, bad start, they know how to regroup and take the game, and they play really strong. I like that because it's not something flashy. You will not see some laser fires and boom, 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 it's over. No, that's Russian way. These guys actually think how will they position tanks. You saw now from the bad position how they managed to squeeze in the FV heavies, the Pacha, all the calls that came in this game, in that Cliff game that were horrible for them when they were attacking. Like everything was snatched out back their way because of just good reads in the game. Very nice.
So let's have a look at the damage in that battle and see who came out on top. Very interested to see if it was an autoload or not. Zan up in his little sniper perch there.
Happy little kill.
4k damage in the AMX 50B. But then Danizek and Diplomat 3,200 themselves. Diplomat making his shots count. Danizek not getting as much damage. But then the bottom four players there on damage statistics there, all coming from Nacrobrod.
Hellfish did some reset, but he got wrecked there when he was trying to shoot. Failware also right next to him. Raven, he didn't even spot. I think he just died when he tries to push around. Like, it was just about Gohard this entire match. Honestly, like about Gohard and in start a bit about Diplo. A moment or two.
we talked about this at the start, and I said, I think 5-2, 5-1. 5-1, I didn't think it was
expecting something like 5-3, but just Gohard is playing better and better from every match day to match day. I'm really impressed.
It's interesting from what you're saying, like something happens in game and they just react to it so well. They come, think, oh well, it's not going to go their way, but they bring it back round, and it's great to see. It's really, really good to see. So let's have a look at the damage statistics actually for the entire match series here, and bam, there's my boy on the top of the table.
Third time in a row. Third match in a row, Diplo is on the top of everyone else.
If you don't have him in your fantasy team, ladies and gentlemen, get him in your fantasy
Problem
team.
is he's too expensive. I already tried.
He's farming damage right now.
He's farming like a lumberjack, man.
So he was identified at the start of this when Daki interviewed. It was Danizek at the start of the battle, and Danny was saying that Diplomat is a huge thing for their team. He's carrying, perfect pickup for their team, and he's gelling with the team. I mean, I don't know who the exact shot caller is for Gohard, but
Danny is their tactician.
Their play is great to watch, and it's unlucky for Nacrobrod. Nacrobrod would want to get the points on the board. It was like the situation with Kazna earlier. They want to climb. They're in this like dangerous area, just hovering above the bottom four spots. And this is a team who were here last season. Nacrobrod they've stayed in the gold series. Gohard are a team who came up from silver series. They're like pow, like
and they changed a lot of in setup, and also they practice really a lot. When they started playing ESL Major, they didn't do that well. They were struggling a lot, but obviously for them it was a valuable experience because they just moved on and progressed so much higher. They're just leaping up now. It's really interesting to watch all those things, how they changed, from the players they introduced new to the team and how they progressed. I am kind of speechless because I haven't seen a team in European scene that rose so fast.
Reminds me in a way a bit of Eclipse in America last season. Eclipse were the guys who qualified from their silver series, and then they blazed a trail of fire right the way through their gold league effectively.
Well, they still have to work quite hard to do something like that because they still have to deal with Ding and Utopia.
That's true, but at the same time, Eclipse had things like Simp and the other team who actually dominated the league as well for them, whose name I can't remember for the life
Doesn't
of me
really
right now.
matter.
But at the end of the day, Eclipse were the ones who went to the grand finals. It's still there. It's there for Gohard. It's like if they can keep this going, not to jinx them. I'm sorry if this happens, but
You're going there?
they have the strength to do it.
We will
So
see. It's too early for that.
It's too early, yeah. Too early, but I can't wait to see how these
Don't
guys
put
do.
that pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah.
They just started doing well.
Okay, so after today's matches, and we had, let's have a look at the standings now, including because I'll show the ones from yesterday and the ones from today. So, Gohard go back to third place now. Oops, we're there. Gohard now able to jump ahead of them on 16 points. Utopia and Ding still top. They Ding with the match today as well, so they did well against Kazna. Kazna in 7th. Nakabro drop into that danger situation now.
Kazna on 7th spot by
I mean,
losing a match.
from 5 to 10 right now, it's anybody's game. There's no one in 5 to 7 that you can look at and say these guys are definitely staying up. Everyone's like
everyone will have to fight a lot and mainly among each other.
these guys definitely have a fight on their hands. So far, we've only had 2 games last night. We had 2 games this evening. We're going to have 4 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. So this could effectively be the week that decides it for some teams, couldn't it?
We already have 4 teams in a clear, so they are already fighting for those top 6 positions actually in the next phase.
A little bit of money, really, isn't it?
Yeah. The others are at the moment fighting for survivals and to just stay in that game. Now, why we have split up matches so far? It's work week, of course, so Thursday and Friday we have 2 matches each day, while on weekends we have 4. But match day for us means when every team plays each other, so that's why we have 2 play each other. I mean, 4 teams play on Thursday, 4 played today, and 4 we will have play on Saturday, and between them, another 4 matches belong to a next match day.
Yep. So, speaking of matches for tomorrow, let's actually have a look at the schedule for tomorrow with matches. So, kicking off at 4 o'clock, we have Utopia versus Rage Quit. So, that's Utopia riding high at the top of the league. Rage Quit just...
It's also a bit of a Polish derby, so...
Okay, Rage Quit just getting out of that dangerous spot, number 9. Then we have Legend out of range. Legend were able to have a bit of a fight last week. Out of range, not quite firing on all cylinders.
We didn't see them, they delayed matches.
Okay, so that's a scrappy bottom of the table match.
That's the end of match day 7
Yeah,
there.
and then we go into the next match day. So, although it's still Saturday effectively, we have the Wild Bunch versus Rusty Roster.
Crucial match for both.
Crucial match for both, definitely. The Rusty Roster able to get some more points on the board yesterday, I believe. Wild Bunch not performing as consistent or persistent as you guys were calling them earlier on.
Yeah, they're persistent. We didn't say they're always like good at it.
And then we have Swift versus Kazna Crew. Now, this is a big game for both of those teams. Kazna Crew, they really need to win this.
Honestly,
there's no 2 ways about it.
Except the first match where Utopia plays, everyone else needs desperately points in those 3 matches after that.
The Utopia one...
They're the only ones safe on that day.
You think, yeah, the Utopia
everyone
one,
else must struggle, even Rage Quit.
Utopia, Rage Quit. Rage Quit are 10th, I think, just now. They just moved up. Knackerbroad went down to 9th.
I think they have like 8 or 9 points.
So Utopia, Rage Quit, you're expecting it to be one-sided. You're expecting Utopia to win this one. So for Legend out of range, Wild Bunch, Rusty Roster, and Swift Kazna, you can't predict those ones. It can go any way, can't it?
I think there will be quite a lot of struggle tomorrow. We're going to witness some epic clashes there because as the time ticks, everyone needs points. I will really also just want to apologize to everyone for stream being down for a couple of seconds. Things happen. We just have to deal with them same as other players in the games.
Just don't put in chat hashtag blame Daki.
It's totally not his fault. I think he said
He's in the
something there in
production room right
production.
now. Definitely. Not saying who's to blame. We're not pointing any fingers, but we're just going to say it's him because he can't defend himself.
Easy.
Easy.
Easy
Yay.
game.
Blame Daki. If in doubt, bat chats for any map and blame Daki. Works every time. So, as we're saying, Utopia, we expect them to win. Everyone else, it could be anybody right now.
Rage Quit might pull some surprise there. We're going to see, honestly, Legend almost beat Utopia last time, not by result, but those games were super close. So Utopia better watch their step.
Okay, so we got our predictions right for today, roughly.
Yeah, maybe not in number of the games, but the winners, yes.
Looking forward to tomorrow's matches. Are you, Mojo? Yeah, excited?
I would really like to see TWB actually managing to go in phase 2. I kind of like the guys, so I'm going to wait for that match.
They've struggled hard to get into the Gold League, so it would be nice to see them staying up, definitely. So we hope all you guys have had an entertaining night and enjoyed the matches. Tomorrow we have 4 more lined up for you guys, so please tune in and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand finals.
This comes down to is who's got nerves of steel and who's got the better strategy on this.
This is going to be a defining point here. Again, the team who doesn't pick this up is done. That's them. That's out.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Hellraisers, but Na'Vi got it done and dusted.
Reigning champions have again gone all the way.
One of the greatest matches we've ever seen in World of Tanks esports.